Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is the week in review. I'm just going to get right into it. I will say that I really enjoyed NXT this week. From what I saw of SmackDown, it seemed okay, and we'll have some stuff to talk about there. Same with Raw. We got to talk about NXT though, because there are two big things I want to talk about, and that's Tony D and Obafemi. And this is where I'm on my, John's flying away from all of us. His mind is going a million miles per minute kind of thing. And then the more dejected, Jesus Christ, are we really about to do this? Ethan Page, Trick Williams with CM Punk as guest referee. Because I think this NXT show is a day before Hell in a Cell. I can't be the only one that thought, is Drew McIntyre going to do a run in? He may even accidentally Claymore Trick. We don't know. But ultimately, all roads lead to Ethan's going to retain against Trick because CM Punk had to make it about himself. I fucking hate CM Punk, bro. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Because, I saw this and I'm like, how does this not vindicate everything that Drew says about you on a regular basis? This didn't need a referee. This didn't need it. Maybe no DQ or something. Maybe if you had to do a stip, this way there were no excuses. There would be a winner because I could see Ethan as a character using the champion's advantage. I mean, hell, at No Mercy, when the referee was down or distracted, he got a low blow on Joe Hendry. So we know Ethan Page cheats when he feels in over his head. So I'd get that. But Punk being in it, to me, it just telegraphs it's a day before Hell in a Cell. Well, day before Bad Blood, really, but it's a Hell in a Cell matchup, Drew and Punk. That's what I should say. It's a day before Bad Blood. It's a day before their Hell in a Cell match. I see Drew getting a run in, getting that final push of build and heat and whatever, but it's going to come at Trick's expense. I mean, look, just stop me here before I go any further. Do you sympathize with that view, or do you think that's way off base and Trick still has a good chance of regaining the title?
I do sympathize with that view, but I do not share that view.
So do you think Trick is still gonna regain? Because I know we're not doing a proper preview predictions for this, given that it's just a special NXT show. It's not like a PLE kind of thing.
Right.
So how do you look at his odds at present? Because with this whole news, they went down for me. So I'm just curious where they are for you.
I think the reason that I don't share that view is because while Punk is the special guest referee, and obviously he's the baby face, or at least he's supposed to be the baby face, and obviously Trick is baby face. Punk hasn't really shown any explicit affinity for Trick Williams. So I don't know. I just feel like it would be weird for Drew. I just feel like it would be weird for Drew to cost Trick explicitly when Punk hasn't really shown any affinity for Trick. So it's not like by Drew costing Trick the title, Drew is really fucking Punk over. He's just really kind of fucking the fans over. So it's almost like they're doubling down on Drew McIntyre being a heel by having him do that rather than actually building towards their match. I just feel like that is something that I could see Drew showing up and doing something to Punk, but I guess my thing is I don't really feel like Drew showing up and doing something to Punk necessarily needs to mean Ethan retains. That's where my mindset is.
Yeah, I guess I can understand that, but for me, it's I think personally you're too focused on Punk doesn't have an affinity for Trick and this and that, because to me it's more about Drew is so obsessed with destroying Punk, and Punk, I think, is given into that same obsession because on Monday, he cuts this promo, and I will give Punk credit. He sells the beats being shoved down his throat. He's got a bit more of a gravelly quality going on there. And, he says, people asked me not to do this Hell in a Cell match, but I am. So that to me denotes as a character, Punk has now kind of indulged that obsession to a degree to destroy Drew. So it's not even about, because when you're obsessed, everything else recedes into the background. It's not even malice towards Trick or affinity towards Ethan or affinity towards Trick or anything. It's just these two hate each other so much that there are always going to be casualties. There's always going to be a byproduct of an obsession, right? And so that's really where I see it, is that Drew is so obsessed to hurt CM Punk any chance he's got. And Punk, of course, is going to want to get his hands on Drew because as the babyface, he's the typical, oh, why wait till insert pay-per-view here? Let's do it right now. And then they'll have a skirmish. Trick will probably be like, what the fuck is going on? And Ethan will like take advantage, and that's how he'll retain. I'm thinking Ethan just retains. And I hate it because I really thought Trick would regain the title here. But if I'm right, there are two other things to talk about because then it branches out even further. Oh, don't worry, Foster. We'll get to Punk Roxanne because I just found Punk obnoxious on this show. He's just so into himself. I really don't think he's sincere with other people. I don't know. It doesn't come off that way to me. But the two things that branch off to me is one, if Trick does lose this, does he get called up? Because I feel like the whole thing, right, has been Trick's got to figure it out. What's my path? He even called Dragunov, like he did like a video chat with him on the phone. And we know Dragunov's on Raw. So, like, I just get the idea that Trick may want to get called up after or whatever.
I
But
mean, dude,
if
here's the
that is
thing.
also,
I will say, if Trick does lose this match, I would assume it would be because of Drew, and I would agree with you that I do think that if that would happen, it would absolutely lead to him being called up very soon after. Yeah, I would absolutely expect him to be called up within like probably 2 or 3 months, for sure. And I honestly, at that point, it wouldn't even surprise me if one of his first feuds, if not his first feud on the main roster, would be Drew McIntyre. That would only make sense.
I mean, here's the thing. uh, Where this is a positive for Trick, so that I don't get in my own myopia and think, oh, how could you not give him back the title, whatever. And then we'll return to the second question that I have about this, if this comes to pass. Um, so I don't get stuck in my own myopia of why couldn't you give Trick the title? Him feuding with Drew right away is a hell of a fucking rub if they would go that route. And like, I think WWE does like Trick enough that they want him to work. Like, they want him to succeed because I think they see money in Trick, and I too see money in Trick. And I think of like a beginning feud with him and Drew, especially where Drew may even lose the first match just to kind of give Trick almost that Shelton Benjamin-esque rub where he beat Triple H on his first night on Raw. Or Finn Balor beating Roman Reigns on his first night on Raw, I think would be really fucking cool. But we'll see. But I definitely think, yeah, if he loses this, uh, you just have to be called up at that point to me. But I'll be curious what the
Yeah.
scheme is. Again, if I'm right, I could be again. I thought that the whole Tony D and Oba line where I'm thinking, which we'll get to that later, I thought that's where I was really kind of flying away. Maybe it's this. I don't know. But the other thing would be obviously, if not Trick, who beats Ethan for the title? Because I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like Oba is ready at any time.
Yeah, I think Oba. I think really I'm going to tell you right now. I think that there are obviously a lot of different paths that NXT could take, but I absolutely see one through line where Ethan somehow miraculously does manage to retain against Trick. If it is Drew, fine, whatever. And Oba ends up dropping his North American title to Tony D when Tony D does a attempt to challenge him a second time, and then Oba goes after Ethan and beats him for the world title. I absolutely see that through line as a possibility in the universe we live in right now.
I can see it too. I just see the whole Tony storyline a little differently. Again, we'll get to that. Cause yeah, I'm watching this and I'm like, oh man, this is really getting interesting. Um, okay, yeah, I just want to catch up on chat. Welcome Super Blue, welcome Foster formerly, and welcome Caster Sales. He's here so that he asks the first question for when we get to that segment later in the show. Yeah, I could see Oba. I'm trying to think of anybody else because I really like Javon, and I think NXT wants to build Javon up. I mean, they're giving him a hell of a matchup coming up, and we'll get to that a little later. But I can't really think of any contenders like immediately that it's like, oh, they're a threat to Ethan unless they would want Joe Henry to challenge again, but that feels redundant as hell.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Oba
Which
really
is
is the best
exactly why
candidate in
I
that.
think it's more likely that Trick just gets the title back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just really side eyeing Punk right now with all this. But speaking of Punk, while we're talking about his segments, what did you think about what he did with Roxanne? Because you saw Foster in the chat said he thought that segment was super long. What did you think about it?
Okay, so let me just start out by saying I didn't actually see the beginning of that segment. I didn't actually see Punk and Roxanne's promo exchange. I really only got into the room to watch it when they were just wrapping up, and I was like, "Oh well, shit! I thought I missed. What did I miss?" And then Julia came out. I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't miss the best part." So
There you go.
I got to see Julia come out, and that ended up being incredible because she totally no sold Punk's entire existence. That was amazing. I loved that.
Yeah.
She literally ignored that he was even there. It was so good.
Yeah, that's freaking great. I'm loving how Julia's doing so far. That's definitely a big upside.
Yeah.
I think she chose the perfect WWE look, especially because she'll have to stick with it for a year. I do agree with you about those sentiments. Action figures, video games, all that. They're gonna want, that aesthetic. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for their title match, and I feel like it's gonna be great, gonna be an absolute banger. But Punk again putting it over. It's like, man, you're not needed here. Like, I
Hmm.
feel like Roxanne and Julia are getting the reactions like on their own, and I could honestly, even though I don't care for Ethan as a heel, Trick is so sympathetic as a babyface, and the chase, I think fans have enjoyed it enough that I don't really think Punk was needed there either. So again, it just feels very self-serving and annoying. Um, we got Tara winning their tag team matchup. Really happy to see
Yeah,
this.
that
I
was awesome.
I would love to see them go after the women's tag titles, but we'll see. Um, cannot wait for this Zachary Wentz and Wesley thing to be over. I'm just
Yeah.
really, I'm
Oh
over it.
God. Wentz cut another really bad promo this week.
He did. I don't even really want to get into it because we'll save it. We know he's a horrible mic worker. Nothing really new to add. Eddie Thorpe beat Ashante. Okay. I'm just obviously saving the Tony stuff for last. Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander
I
had a what was that?
I was just gonna say I preferred the Ashante story when it was more about Dion Lennox being a ladies' man than it was just about Ashante striking out constantly.
Dion Lennox. What a man.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
In fact, since you kind of interjected with that before I get on with Javon, I just want to say that Dion Lennox did have a match against Brooks Jensen. Really short and just, Brooks won with a DDT. Jake Roberts,
Yeah.
you are not. But Dion Lennox, great look, has a hell of a drop kick. I think he has a lot more athleticism to show us. Keep pushing this guy, keep investing in this guy. You'll get a return on that investment soon enough. I promise you. He's really good. He's really, really good. Um, so yeah, Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander beat No Quarter Catch Crew in a fun tag team matchup. Before this, Ren had segments first with No Quarter Catch Crew, where Charlie was like, "Hey, Ren, appreciate you, but you got to make your own opportunities if you're going to be in the group." And she's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah," and then she like chops him and she leaves to go do something. Like, I fucking love Ren, man. She
She's
might
awesome.
be. She's kind of sprinting towards being like revelation of the year because I know we've seen her before all this, but it was very minimal and very kind of muted. Now seeing her as almost like a full character, it's like, man, you got this, man. Like that's awesome. Awesome. She actually confronts Kalani Jordan. And now we can also say that nobody takes a slap like Lonnie because again,
Yes.
fucking Ren interrupts. She's like, "Oh, Charles, you know him. He says I have to start making my own opportunity." So smack. It's like I'm ready now, and then Kalani looks at her like, "Oh hell no!" And then she starts chasing her. So we know that Ren wants that women's North American Championship. And to be honest, while there are women that I would put ahead of Ren, and that says a lot because I love Ren. If she were to win it, would it be a Mecha Pop? Yes. So rooting for her.
Can we get can we get Ren and Ariana in the same faction, in the same segment, please?
Dude. Yes. Yes. God, yes.
I
I
want
miss
Ren
Ariana
to
Grande
win
so
the
much.
North American Women's Championship, and at some point, I want Ariana to really go after her and for them to feud a little bit. That would be amazing.
That would be absolutely incredible. Oh my
And
god.
I
Yeah,
also
'cause
want Chelsea to come down to NXT and feud with her briefly as well.
that would be incredible too. Definitely.
Just all these great characters interacting. It'd be so good.
Definitely.
Especially because Chelsea had an amazing segment on SmackDown this week. I can't wait to talk about with you.
Oh, yes, yes. I missed this. I almost wanna live react to it though, because 'cause I've heard such good things about it,
Oh
the
yeah,
Chelsea segment.
it would be
But,
worth it.
let's, oh yeah, and Javon is facing Randy Orton. Jesus, on October 8th.
Yes.
What do you think about this, man? Because you already know I sent you a voice recording when I watched NXT, and I told you that I like this, and I feel like unlike when Orton was feuding with Ali, and Ali should have won the match that they had, I'm okay with Javon losing here because I think the rub he gets here will be pretty freaking great. So, how do you feel about it?
I love it, dude. I love it because like Orton is low key. Like no one ever called him young OG back in the day, but he was. He was a young OG. He was the youngest, I believe, the youngest WWE champion ever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So like, yeah, he was doing stuff at a very young age that nobody's ever done before in WWE, and now Javon is kind of on pace to potentially do a lot of stuff at a similarly young age, maybe even break a record or two that Randy set 20 plus years ago. And I think that's really cool that they're setting those guys up so that Javon is even in the same conversation as Randy. I love that. I think that's
yeah,
incredibly dope. And I also love too that before that match was even officially announced on TV, Randy tweeted Javon telling him about the fact that the match was made already. Like Randy basically announced this match on his Twitter before it was announced on TV.
yeah, because he can get away with it. He's like, "What are they gonna do? Find me?" Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, really happy for him there. Already talked about Lennox. Lola Vice and JC Jane, they had a matchup. Not really much to speak of there.
Lola.
Yeah, Lola wins. Like I said to you in the audio that I sent you on Facebook, this faction looks like a joke. They're really not getting big wins. They're really not being seen as a threat, even with the numbers game, which I think makes them look worse, right? Because if you
Yeah.
would have beaten Lola with constant interference, it's like, oh, well, it was constant interference, but they got the win. You couldn't win even with two people on the outside. The hell, and it was JC. Like, even if it was Jasmine, maybe I could have understood it because she is supposed to be like the
She's the
understudy of the group.
rookie. Yeah.
But like, you're JC Jane.
It
You
was one
kicked
of
your
the vets.
exactly, exactly. So it's like, what are we doing? Um, and then Jada Parker comes out. I'm gonna be honest. I really wish we had a heel women's North American champion because this storyline feels below Jada after the amazing work she did with Roxanne. Like, I don't see how you get an amazing clip like her slapping Roxanne in the face, and then you just have her in this tepid storyline. I don't know.
Did you
Maybe that's
see
just
the team that was assembled on a house show recently?
no.
Jada, Lola, and Julia.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, right? Talk about a powerhouse team, right?
Yeah, oh dude, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, and then the Tyrese Halliburton and that whole thing with Trick and Ethan, and we know that Punk comes out. So let's talk about Tony D. Okay, so I'm enjoying. Okay, so to set the scene, he's still conflicted about Oba, this and that. They show a segment, I guess, earlier in the night that wasn't like on TV. It was kind of like a recap thing where he confronts Hammerstone's like, "Hey, when I pay you, I expect the job to be done." And he's like, "Nah, man, Oba's just a freak." Well, you're gonna get back in there with him again. No, I'm not. I don't think you understand something. I run this family. When I pay you, I expect the hit to be executed. Well, if you've got a problem, why don't you get in the ring with me?
Well, oh,
That would
no,
be
at first he
positive.
was like, if you got a problem with Oba, why don't you get in there and beat him yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I kind of imitated. I know even without Crisp, you wouldn't be able to hear it, but I pop my collar like I'm all like flummoxed. Fine, I get in there. So then Tony and Hammerstone have a matchup, but Tony at one point, like he walks out. He gets counted
Yeah,
out.
Hammerstone throws him, and he's just like,
Exactly.
"Well, shit. If we're working with that, fuck, I gotta regroup."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, so, he gets counted out and the family's like, what the fuck is this? Uh and then
And rightfully so, because it was weird.
they're talking in the locker room and they're trying to push Tony about like, well, what's the plan then? How are we gonna get Oba? And it was like, well, we're not gonna get Oba. It's done. Oh, and by the way, Oba was watching that Hammerstone match in the back, and he was kind of laughing, and it was like he's broken, and so Oba was reveling that he broke another man's spirit. Oh, Oba, you're just the right amount of unhinged, you fucking daddy. So yeah, Tony says, we're not going after Oba. It's done. And then finally, we get a segment with Riz, which is really fucking cool. And he says, like, I'm scared. He admits, like, I'm afraid, all right. Like, I want to fight him again, but I'm afraid I'll lose. I'll let the family down. And Riz more or less says, like, she doesn't say it exactly like this, but essentially it is, well, face the fear and do it anyway. Like, even if you lose, you'll always have the family. We can train, we can prepare. And they hug. And Tony, Riz, I think, really made good in the family. My problem though, and this is because I am a very emotionally stunted person that was raised at too young an age on mobster movies. You don't show weakness in the family. I'm I'm worried that Tony's gonna get whacked. And I don't know. I don't know if Stacks is gonna be kind of looking at him like, wait, afraid? How are we supposed to be a family if Don's afraid? How are we supposed to run NXT? And then, he'll get ideas. At first, I thought Stacks would one day get Joe Pesci. You think you're getting made, you got dead. But instead, it's looking that might be Tony's law. You think he's getting made as a singles champion, and then bada boom, just gets taken out. So I don't know. I mean, maybe straightforwardly, the simplest answer is usually the right one. Tony just wins the rematch, and it's like, oh, look at him overcoming the odds. But man, it would really be true to mob life if fucking Stacks or somebody was like, the boss is afraid. He just admitted weakness. We can't have this going around the locker room. Take care of it, and he gets taken out. And like just when he thinks he's about to beat Oba, they execute the plan. Oba retains. I don't like Oba retaining with help because I mean, look at the fucking man. But there are other stories going on around him. So I don't know, man. I don't think it's really a guarantee that Tony wins in a rematch. And I definitely think he's going to have more problems with the family having admitted this weakness. But then again, that's my mob brain going. So how do we feel about it?
Well, I absolutely love your take on the situation because, truthfully, I am basing my sort of like resignation to, oh, well, I guess Tony's just winning the title now, to pretty much, our chat. When NXT was actually happening, I was in our live wrestling discussion channel, and that seemed to be the consensus. So it's good to know that there's a little bit of pushback, at least from you, that might not necessarily be a foregone conclusion. That's good to know. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, I know that I'm crazy. I know that I have like weird ideas about wrestling a lot of the time. But again, like I think if you want to be a true mobster family, I've just never known a Don to admit he was afraid. Sure, an underling maybe like, I don't know about this boss, they're gonna find the body. And it's like, shut up, you gabagoo, and just shove him in the trunk. But this is the leader. This is the head. Like, I don't know, Tony. I wouldn't have admitted that. I wouldn't have admitted that because you know,
I
and I
think the
gotta say
reason they
this
get away with it is because it is a babyface faction right now.
it is. You know what though? Can I just be honest too? I Now maybe this is a writing inconsistency that I am way too fixated on, but then again, I mean we're us, right? This is the perfect podcast to be fixated on a writing inconsistency. I feel like we never fully, in my opinion, we never fully addressed stand and deliver when Stacks wanted to go a certain way in the matchup against Ilya, and Tony was like, "No, we're not doing that. We're not using the Nux." So
Right.
like,
So
for
again, Tony D being more babyface.
Yeah, and like Stacks is following him for now,
Yeah.
but I'm curious. See, I guess here's what it comes down to for me, bro. And again, I guess I was excited to do this episode with you, particularly about NXT, because you know that I enjoyed something when my brain is going like this. So
Oh
this
yeah.
is actually the biggest compliment I can pay to this angle because you've got me thinking rather than me just like passively like, okay, next spoonful. I just want to finish the meal and go on to the next one.
Yep.
You know, I have to wonder what the build is going to be like up until this rematch whenever it's going to take place because Stacks might be thinking like if you're afraid like he might make like passive aggressive comments, he might side eye, he may even try again what he did at Stand and Deliver just to really give Tony that edge, and Tony again is like no, especially not in this match. This is me facing my fear, this is me showing that I can beat a guy that really is unbeatable. And I love how Tony put over Oba here, by the way.
Yep.
This is how you take care of each other because he makes Oba seem impossible. So then if he does it, Tony looks even more impressive to me than if he would beat Ethan Page for the NXT championship. That's how over he put Oba, and that's how good Oba
Mm-hmm.
looks right now.
Yep.
Um, but then Stacks could be like, that's great and all, but I want to be done now. And he fucking does. I don't know. Again, I was raised on too many mob movies. This is not Goodfellas. This is not Scarface. This is fucking NXT. But then again, this is the same company that like the most unsafe place is the fucking parking lot. As was shown by Trey Miguel again, which by the way was the best part of that segment. Way to get got, bitch. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But if Tony wins, I guess, yeah, like you said earlier, Ethan would have to also retain, and then we could, or maybe even not, because we know Oba has no problem mixing it up with baby faces. So I guess just in general, his next step would be the NXT Championship, unless Triple H was like, "Oh my God, Sean, he's the perfect wrestler. We're gonna make like $1 million off of him. Let's call him up right now and let's get him to main event WrestleMania." Um, to which I would be like, "Well, Hunter, the nose really does know." And so yeah, we'll just have to see. But I think the rematch could be good. I'm excited for it.
I
I
mean,
think
to be fair, I did literally have John Cena during his retirement tour in 2025 facing Oba Femi at WrestleMania. So
bro, yes.
I said, if you can't face Oba at Mania, have him face Braun Breaker, and then let him face Oba Femi at some other point in the year.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
but yeah,
so
dude,
I
I like your creativity though with the family. I'm gonna be real. In just me allowing myself to feel and allowing myself to be sincere, sincere and genuine to me, and not trying to sort of coddle anyone, whether it be you with your mob ideas or Alex wanting the story. Excuse me. I'm good, by the way. Wanting the story to go a certain way. In my opinion, assuming Tony does challenge Oba again, I still want Oba to just retain. I don't necessarily need for it to be because Stacks turns on Tony or there's some kind of miscommunication there. I don't need for it to be that. I just want for it to be because Oba's the better fucking man, and it's Oba goddamn
yeah,
Femi, and
yeah,
Tony's just right that he is too fucking good for him.
yeah,
Like I understand that Alex is like, oh, the story is just too perfect, but like when else the story was too perfect? Kevin Owens trying to win the world title for Roman Reigns Royal Rumble a few years ago. Drew McIntyre trying to win the world title for Roman Reigns at Clash of the Castle. Like there have been several different other instances in other title reigns where the story was just so perfect and it didn't matter because the champion retained anyway. I want that to happen with Oba here. I want Oba to retain the title because he's Oba fucking Femi.
okay. Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that, man. And he is. He is Oba fucking Femi. He is physically stacked. He's got all the fucking attributes and stuff to legitimately beat anybody. I mean, dude, I said I think just last week, if an NXT competitor was a surprise entrant in a Rumble, could believably win the Rumble on their first try, it's fucking Oba. Like I
Yes.
said that last week. So
Yes.
you've got an ally in me with just your mindset and your mentality about Oba. Um, so Yeah, I don't know, man. Because then here's the thing too, though. If Tony loses, you've already tried for the NXT Championship, you failed. You tried for the North American Championship, you failed. You've done the tag titles already. So is this another case where we could be thinking about a potential call up here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. It is time for Tony specifically to get called up. And I say Tony specifically because Riz and Stacks and probably Luca all still need more seasoning down there in NXT. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the best bet really legitimately would be to have Stacks and the rest of the family turn against him so that they could whack him, quote unquote, whack him. And that would be a way to write him off NXT TV. And then he shows up on Raw or SmackDown a few weeks later. That is a
yeah.
legitimately good idea because those three still need training, still need seasoning. They're all still very green. Tony is ready to be done with NXT. Tony is ready to move up.
I think Tony. I think I knew he was ready to be called up when I knew how much I enjoyed him being Heritage Cup champion. I'm like, okay, because honestly, Tony is like a US champion. Because I do think Tony would fit better on SmackDown, in my opinion. Although they may want to try him on Raw, who knows? But yeah, I don't know why. I think just be standing ever since Stand and Deliver, I have not been able to shake. Stacks and Tony are gonna have beef one day, and I don't know how it'll shake out, but yeah, I uh I really appreciate us having it out like this because this was the storyline. I'm like, oh man, this is getting really good. So
I
yeah,
will say I really liked these segments with Tony. The one with him and Hammerstone backstage where he confronts Hammerstone and Hammerstone's just like, well, why don't you beat him yourself then? And he's just like looks unsure of himself and insecure and then Hammerstone challenges him to a match and then we get the match. And then even the match itself where it takes one really clear example of Hammerstone just flat out overpowering Tony D, and you and I knowing that Tony D is a power wrestler, and it's like that's what it takes. And Tony's just like, nope, nope, can't do this. I'm out. I can't do it. Nope, I'm not even gonna try. He's strong. He's a real threat. This guy's a beast, and I can't beat the guy who couldn't beat Oba, and I already lost to Oba. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm fucked. And then we get the really good vulnerable backstage segment with him actually opening up and saying he's afraid and Riz supporting him. I loved all three of those. I loved the first segment, I loved the match, and I loved that segment. I thought they were all extremely well done. I really, really enjoyed those.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
And I
So
will say too, a part of me enjoyed them because of the fact that it made Oba look so goddamn good. Oba looks like a fucking monster.
yeah, he does. I'm telling you, you could put him on the main roster now, and he could beat one of the bigger guys. Like if Seth Rollins was still healthy, like
Yes.
in kayfabe, I could see Oba beating
Dude,
a guy the caliber of Seth in his debut. No,
Seth,
no, no cap.
Sheamus, Orton, Owen, like literally there are only like two or three guys on the main roster right now that like you would put Oba in there and I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe it would be a stretch for Oba to beat them day one.
Yeah, like Gunther, I think would be one for me
Yes.
personally.
I think Gunther, Roman, and exclusively because of kayfabe reasons, Cody.
Yes,
And you know what? Maybe Jacob. Maybe Jacob.
God, Jacob, I am so excited for his future.
But
Just
even
get
then, like you look at the stature, and it's like I think Oba versus Jacob would be a really fun match. But I wouldn't have any issue believing that Oba could beat him 1-on-1.
yeah. I just think it would take a considerable effort to do it, and I'm fine with
Yeah,
that
that's what
too.
I mean when I say it would be a really good match. Like it wouldn't be like a 5 minute affair. It would be like a 15-minute knockdown drag out fight. But I don't think that it would be unreasonable for Oba to win it.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. All right. I think I'm good on the Tony D kind of discussion about,
Sure.
where this is all going. Uh,
Props to
so
Riz, by the way. Adriana Rizzo, she had a great performance backstage. Really, really good. Really, really
she
good work.
really did. I'm enjoying the character work of a lot of wrestlers lately. Tony, I think,
Yeah.
did great with his body language.
Yep.
The king of it, since I said wrestlers, I didn't say NXT wrestlers, so I made it more broad. The king of it this week, I loved Roman Reigns in that video package that he and Cody did.
Yes.
Oh my, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
In fact, hey, that was NXT, so we could talk about it now with SmackDown. This video package with Cody and Roman. Again, like, guys, look, I shouldn't have to say it, especially because we do have a core audience that I know loves us and loves me for reasons sometimes that I don't understand because I am very unhinged. But you guys know I am a certified Cody Rhodes hater, and I have never apologized for it, and I'm not about to start now, but you guys know this. But I'm sorry. He looks like a little boy in there with Roman, even though he's got the title. Like, he's such a
Dude, I
tryhard.
love too how Roman was like, "This is my city. I bled, sweat, tears for this city." And then Cody's like, "Generations of my family wrestled here." It's like, bro, you can't even claim it for yourself. It's your daddy and his daddy before him that were here, not you. Fuck off.
That dude, yes. Yeah, like, here Roman's talking about what he did, and Cody's like, "But I was born. Shut
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck up."
the fucking
Right.
entitlement, dude, right? Dude, it's funny because literally while this segment was happening, my mom was like, "Are they turning Cody heel?" He
No.
came off
Answer
like
that
such
question.
a douchey, smarmy dickhead in this segment. It was so funny.
Bro, like, it's amazing that Cody and I think I said this last week, and I'm sorry to repeat myself, but, oh, wait a minute, I'm right. He has every problem that Roman used to fucking have, because
Yup.
now look, we never really liked Cody, whereas even when Roman was a babyface and they were trying, we could see the good in Roman, and that's what frustrated us.
I think
What
the
pisses me off here
biggest
is
thing with us with Roman, that like why we were frustrated when he was a babyface is because we saw him as a heel in NXT and we were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." And then they tried so hard to push him as like John Cena 2.0 and we were like, "No, this isn't his fucking like wheelhouse. Give him the opportunity to show his personality like he did in NXT because his NXT run was very brief, but it was very enlightening. He was amazing as an arrogant heel. Like they called him the LeBron James of NXT. It was incredible. The thoroughbred Roman Reigns. It was fucking amazing. And it only lasted like 2 months, but it was enough for us to get a taste and be like, this is it. And then they were like, no, 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 no. Super Cena 2.0 for like a decade.
you know your current first of all, you're right. Second of all, you know your current world champion, and I want to turn off crisp here just so that everybody fully
Nice.
understands me.
Yes.
You know your world champion is ass. There it is. When I want the guy that literally held the title for almost 3 fucking years to get it back.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm like, no, daddy, I didn't know what we had together,
we're
please.
like we're like checking our watches, like, was 3 years really that long?
Yeah, because I'm sorry, all these people that were like, Roman's no good, the title reign's too long. Listen, you know what? I told this to my sister recently because I love her so much, and we were just talking about like dynamics and relationships we have, whatever. But I could say it about Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. This is the first time in my fucking life. I'm gonna turn off crisp again so you all can really see my
Nice.
emphasis. This is the first time in my fucking life that I have seen Burger King and Filet Mignon on the same goddamn table. The fuck is this? This guy's got the title on his shoulder, and you want to talk about the man making the championship? Okay, because it seems like to me the belt is definitely making the man.
That belt is
And
working overtime to try and make Cody feel relevant.
bro, that belt is struggling. And Roman, and to dial it down a bit so I can get my more serious voice on, just to really put the effusive praise that our tribal chief fucking deserves.
Yes.
He what I have loved about Roman for so long, because this isn't like a new praise. This has been like his body language and his character work, every facial expression, every glance, every twitch, every pause, how he speaks. I
Speaking of twitching, did you notice Cody's Homelander twitches this week?
I did because I noticed him especially when he stopped Roman from leaving. When Roman was like, "You're in
Yes,
my
that
way."
was when he did them.
He
Yes.
did like the snarl, and you could just tell he wanted to say, "I can do whatever the fuck I want." but, but he didn't say that because he has to be a babyface. And bro, like, look, let's just no cap, okay? We're both fucking old. right? Like, let's just say it for what it is. We're not kids anymore, right? So I can't be like, yeah, Cody, you let that meanie know it's your title and good guys and virgin. Man, I was such a dweeb. 7-year-old me, get your shit together, get some taste. But I am 7. That's the problem. Because like back then, yeah, maybe a lot of kids would root for Cody. I don't know. I would hope to have a core kid. That's just me. I'd be kind of side eyeing my kid if he was cheering for Cody Rhodes on the TV. I'd be like, oh God, I'm not doing enough. But again, that's just me. But Roman, man, god damn. I mean, this dude, when he talks about his city and they show the football clips, which I love that because it really drove the point home. Like, you're goddamn fucking right, it's his city. And then Cody, like you just said, like we just got done roasting him for. My daddy said, your daddy's dead. I don't give a fucking shit. If your daddy ended the fucking Cold War, he's dead. What have you done for me lately? Decompose is literally the only answer. Fuck. I'm so tired, dude. I am so tired of hearing about other people's bloodlines because you coast because you know the blood has fucking
Dried up.
solidified. It's not moving. It's viscous and thick, and it's making the arteries just fucking collapse because you're useless. You're less than useless. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're not a big shot. You're not a medium shot. You're just an asshole with a fucking dye job. Christ.
Holy
And
shit.
and Roman has to come out and carry this motherfucker who rehabilitated that championship, was the best Universal Champion that belt ever fucking had, that fucking glorified fruit roll up ass that was fucking cursed from the word go. And Roman's like, I'm gonna fix it. And he did. Was gonna be a WWE champion that reminds you of what being a wrestling world champion's all about. And he did. And then he gives it to this motherfucker, glorified Hillary Clinton motherfucker that's like, but it's my turn. It's my turn. And you got it. And what have you done with it? Nothing. Nothing. You are the most flaccid motherfucker I have ever seen in my life. I hate you. And Roman, meanwhile, is producing cinema and once again is doing a carry job. I don't know how this dude doesn't come out with a back brace as part of his fucking entrance attire from carrying everything around him. Gee, with like, because Paul even said it on the fucking press conference, probably while still treating leukemia for the rest of his life. This dude, like, is there anything he can't fucking do? And Cody is just asked to do one thing. Hey, be interesting. That's the plane crashing into the fucking ground.
Oh wow! It just sounded like the South Park episode "You're Growing Up" or whatever it was, where just Stan just hears and sees everything as being shit except Cody actually is.
Well, yeah, it was accurate. I'm glad that that's what it made you think of because yes, fuck Cody Rhodes, man. Gee, like the most boring. And you know what the worst part is? Because let's connect these threads now, shall we? Because
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm not done, but apparently I'm not done. You suck so much, and you are just so adamant about no. I need to be loved. I need to be adored. I want to be. You know who else said that? Literally on Truth Social, Trump. Trump literally said, "I want to be loved. I want to be adored." You narcissist.
Oh.
Yeah, you narcissistic, psychopathic little bitch. Fucking sit the fuck down. All you want is sycophantic behavior from everybody around you. Oh, yes, Cody, you're an amazing WWE champion. Oh, yes, Cody, you single-handedly saved professional wrestling. Polish your own fucking balls. Christ. So he sucks so fucking bad. This motherfucker is so goddamn awful that it's not even enough. It's not even enough that he can't turn heel. It's not even enough that like he can't just embrace that his theme song fucking sucks and it's meant to be a heel theme because it fucking sucks. I used to like Downstate. Christ, what was wrong with me? Fuck. And so because he can't do that, because he can't be fucking selfless for literally a microsecond to do something good for the product and embrace Homelander because he sure as hell likes to snarl like he does. I'd love to see how he drinks milk, probably sniffs it for 30 seconds first, little freak. And so, because he can't do that, because he can't be that fucking selfless and think about, hey, what's good for the business? Because there's no me in the word business, and that's immediately Cody's first fucking problem. Kevin Owens is probably going to turn heel.
No.
And I get that vibe because of the segments they did with Kevin. Oh, how do you feel about Cody and Roman tagging? Oh, well, gee, given that Roman kind of tormented me and I'm a far better babyface than Cody could ever hope to be, even though the company apparently doesn't see that. And, I cut a promo about how I got these tattoos because my grandparents believed in me to be a pro wrestler, and Roman kind of threw that in my face, and he beat me up, and he talked directly to my child and my wife and said, daddy's going to have some problems. I think I kind of fucking hate it, given that the guy that's teaming with him, I've had his back 4 months. I had his back at WrestleMania 40 when he won the fucking title. So yeah, I feel a certain kind of way, but especially I have a problem with a little baby back bitch that in one segment is like, oh, I'm done with the bloodline. And then the next segment is like, wait a minute. This is being more relevant than me. Give me the contract. I can't stand up my own talent, Roman. I need you, please. He's going to turn heel. And he's going to be like, it wasn't me. Cody turned heel when he teamed with the guy that made my life hell. And then I'm going to have to sit here as the Kevin Owens stan of a fucking lifetime and eat another bowl of shit. My teeth have not stopped smelling like feces for like the past 5 fucking years for all the shit that I've eaten being a Kevin Owens fan. But that doesn't matter to Cody Rhodes because he can't turn heel. That would be interesting. That would be relevant. That would be doing something. We can't do anything. It's stasis or nothing. Get over it. And so Kevin Owens now has to once again have a botched babyface turn that just they can never seem to get right, even though like the stuff he
Oh, I
did with
thought
Roman
this
was
was a
some of the
really good babyface run, to be fair.
okay, it was better than most, and I still think some of the best babyface stuff he did was the program with Roman. And I'll tell you, he was more of a compelling babyface there than Cody's entire fucking 2-year journey to the fucking title or year journey. I don't, time's a fucking fucked thing. And so yeah, he's probably going to turn heel now, and then maybe that's how we get the KO Cody rematch, because I did think there was going to be one, but it doesn't fucking matter because Cody's going to win, because it doesn't matter how much anything changes around him. He stubbornly and dogmatically remains the same, and entertainment and money and everything else be fucking damned. Creativity be damned and go to die. I am me. I am Cody Rhodes, the man with the flesh-eating fucking tattoo, and that's all there is fucking to it. I love Roman. I've loved Kevin, but it's like everybody in this motherfucker's orbit, this motherfucker being Cody Rhodes. I've ran it for so long, my linguistic ability is starting to abandon me because it's like, Jesus Christ, you murdered the man. He's dead. What more do you want? It's not enough for me. It's not enough for me. Again, he's just gonna suck everybody into his orbit, and it's like, oh well, tough. And then tough. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry I had something good there, but it was threatening me, so you know. Fuck.
Sorry, but not sorry.
Yes. And, I would respect it if you were at least honest about it. If you were like, I got into the business and I thought, fuck them. And I'm just going to do what I want. And, this guy came up to me and he was like, hey, Cody, we could really do a lot of magic together, but I know I'm getting really over with the crowd. Would you mind if I got an upset win over you? And I took a second to make it seem like I was thinking about it, though I wasn't. And then I let out a little chuckle and I said, fuck you. And I left. And I got to say,
And then I took a second, and then I let out a little chuckle, and I said, that doesn't work for me, pal.
yeah. And then I got to tell you, when I was alone, I noticed that I was still rock hard from my own dominance that my daddy bequeathed to me because he was far more talented than me. And I was just so grateful
I
to
mean,
be born.
he was far more talented at, jacking the gimmicks of black wrestlers than me and getting away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've just been doing theft our entire lives, and I'm not about to break a family tradition that works. And so, I would appreciate it if you were honest, but you have the audacity to try and pose and posture as like a good guy. Oh, I'm great with kids. Oh, I do this. And you know what? Maybe on some level that's true, but on another level, you're just an entitled little shit. And I fucking hate you. So, yes, thank you, Roman, for creating art. And no thanks to you, Cody, for consistently trying to drag art down, because you have not a single creative thought in your entire body. You have not gotten outside of your own life experience to experience anything else genuinely and legitimately. And for that, you will always be, a detriment to a business that relies on creativity and pushing boundaries rather than a credit to it, which I know you perceive yourself to be, but you're wrong. Sorry to break it to you. Oh, wait,
No,
not
you're not.
sorry. Fuck you. So that, whew, that was that. Yeah, I think the whole rant was on like the whole like Kevin Owens stuff where Cody saves Owens, and you could tell like Owens is lingering with the chair in hand because they had the
Yeah,
six-man tag to break
dude.
down.
I love to like, and when I say I love, it's sarcastic. But yeah, I love too how like even like right as the show's about to close, Kevin picks the chair back up. I'm like, wait, why did he pick the chair back up? What are you doing, Kevin?
Yeah. I love it. He's like, what are you doing, Kevin? What I should have done a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh God. And because I'm such a Kevin Owens mark, if this heel turn would mean that he'd win the title, you think I'd give a shit? I'd pop. Hell yeah. Fuck Cody Rhodes. Long live Kevin Owens. I'd probably break out a fail bomb and because his father, damn it, at like maximum volume for one night fucking only. I hate him that much, and I love Kevin Owens that much, but it's not. It's not. You're just gonna sacrifice all of this nuanced, complex character work for he's bad now. He's Kevin Steen again, except he's not really Kevin Steen. He's a watered down Kevin Steen because it's WWE, and that's cool because watered down Kevin Steen is still fun, but like let's not make any pretense about it. I made the same mistake with Asuka for so many years, not doing that shit anymore. So yeah, it's all pointless. So thank you, Cody. Thank you.
Go fuck
For
yourself.
for killing the business. Yeah, you're great. You're great. Um, LA Knight beats Andrade because none of us can be happy. I did see though that Andrade got a lot of praise for this match. I think he won a lot of fans with this, but don't really know if that's going to translate into him getting any more increased TV time, or if it's like, oh hey Andrade, thanks, we'll see you whenever. Yeah, and it's like okay, cool. Apollo Crews beats Vinci again. This match went about 2 minutes apparently, so that's cool, I guess.
No, dude, I gotta say, I
Yes.
fucking love that they gave Giovanni Vinci all those vignettes and then they debuted him and it was just a massive shit on him. I love it so much.
Yeah.
People were hyped for this. I can't believe people were hyped for this, but they were. People were like, "Oh man, Giovanni Vinci, this guy, he's gonna be the one."
Yeah. Oh,
People were really excited about him, and WWE was like, "Do you have eyes?"
I gotta say, I probably shouldn't, but I do love sometimes how you just laugh at other people's absurdities.
They Dan Mathan his ass.
Well, he is phallic.
He
Uh,
is. It's perfect. He's got the dick for the head shape. Yeah.
I mean, say Little Mermaid was your favorite Disney movie without actually saying Little Mermaid was your favorite Disney
I get that reference.
movie. Oh, fuck. All right. Um,
No, but yeah, but no, but seriously though, before we continue our review, I just have to take another step back and say thank you for the Cody Rhodes rant because I enjoyed every single minute of that. That was fucking fantastic.
I didn't realize how repressed I was until it happened.
No, you
But
need
dude,
to
like,
understand though, every time he's on my TV, everything that you say goes through my everything that you said tonight goes through my mind on repeat. And I always feel like maybe I shouldn't go all the way there while we're live because it would be, maybe a little extra. But you went there and I loved it. So thank you.
I just want to say on a serious note, this just all stems back to I think Cody Rhodes is one of the most boring world champions we've had in recent memory. Like, just nothing compelling. And again, it's bad when I want Roman to get the title back, but we'll see what happens ultimately with that. And again, just to wrap that all up, Kevin did try and cut a promo about how he feels. Timu Bloodline interrupted him. San Solo ended with main event match.
DIY.
God, and that fucking theme song. You really expect me to watch 3 hours of this fucking shit? Jesus
I miss
Christ.
Rebel Heart.
You and me both.
This Rebel Heart. This Rebel Heart.
Exactly. Ends in a what was it? Was it a fucking no con? Yeah, it was a fucking no contest because of course it was. Like,
What do you
Jesus.
mean?
The six-man tag main event that they had, DIY and
Oh,
Owens versus
DIY wasn't even in it.
did they? What, did they get replaced? Oh, they did get
DIY
replaced.
got their asses beat backstage before the match, and it looked like it was going to be 3v1 Bloodline versus Owens, but then Street Profits made the save and they ended up tagging up with Kevin.
What a bunch of fucking nerds. Good for Street Profits though.
Dude, right? That's the same exact sentiment we all had in chat. Because, like, when it was looking like Kevin was going to have to fight the Bloodline alone and DIY showed up, everyone was like, where the fuck are Street Profits? Why this? And then that happened, and we were like, yeah, fuck,
Praise Oba.
fuck DIY. Nobody likes DIY, dude. DIY are fucking geeks.
Bro, DIY doesn't even like DIY. You can't tell me that Ciampa doesn't side-eye Gargano at least twice a week and is like, one day this motherfucker. What's that, Tommaso? Like, nothing. Nothing.
He's just looking at him like, God, it was so much better when we were fighting each other than teaming.
I just knee you in the fucking skull right now. God,
Yeah.
I need to put my feelings back in the bottle. I'm
No, you
starting to
don't.
show
No, don't you dare do that. No, keep them out. Keep them
I
out.
was
Keep them all
I'm
the way
about
out.
to show a darkness I don't really feel comfortable with our
I
audience seeing.
want the audience to see it because I want to see it.
God, that's really disturbed, and you're actually going to therapy. The system doesn't work at all.
All that the
So,
system is meant to do is make everybody more comfortable with living in capitalism.
you didn't have to speak that much truth right now. Um, so do we think we're gonna get a triple threat, Bailey, Naomi, and Nia because they both pin Nia at the same time?
That literally is exactly what happened.
I mean, yeah, yeah, no, because I'm reading the
Oh,
recap, and that's why I. Well, wait,
oh,
did they actually officially make a triple threat? Is that
no,
like
no, no, no. Okay, so what happened was, I'm surprised you didn't see this. So what happened was, yes, Bailey and Naomi pinned Nia at the same time, but backstage, Aldis was like, here's what we're going to do. You two are going to have a match with each other next week, and the winner faces Nia. But I think that we're going to get that classic dumbass heel trope where Nia and or Tiffany is going to attack Bailey and Naomi during their match, trying to be like, haha, now I don't have any contenders. And Aldis is going to be like, no, actually, now you have two, triple threat.
really out of left field, but sometimes I miss Vanessa Bourne. You know, just because I feel like she'd be a bit more entertaining in this spot than not. If nothing else, just saying cheer for me. You know, once per match. Yeah, yeah,
That was so out of left field, but I loved it.
yeah. I don't know. Nia kind of sucks.
She
Um,
does. You know what though? This angle is interesting, even if you don't like Naya.
do we think? Because I know Foster, I think, is afraid of Naomi turning heel. Somebody's afraid of Naomi turning heel. I don't think I have that fear though. I
Naomi
think
turning heel. Why would Naomi turn heel?
because she's sick of Bailey. I think Mark
She
was the one
did.
that floated
She
her
did
Discord.
break up a pin at one point in the match, I think, or I think it was Naomi that did.
I see. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. But God, Nia, and then Charlotte doesn't seem like she'll be back soon. Thank God. Maybe the more she stays home, maybe the more she'll be like, you know what? I don't think I love pro wrestling anymore. I'm done. And then we'll just be like, oh man,
Oh,
Charlotte, that really sucks. But I mean, good luck though. Don't change your mind. No take backs, and then just shove her out the door, kind of thing. But it's,
yeah.
it's just me. So let's see what else on SmackDown can we talk about. Oh yeah, Chelsea segment. Should I pull this up and live react to it for y'all? Is it like long, or this
Wait,
whole like dumpster thing?
it's like I think it's probably around a minute or less. You should probably pull it up.
Chelsea is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's just say that we got a question coming up on Q&A next week where I'm definitely going to talk about Chelsea again, probably more in depth. So
Nice.
that's promoting Q&A. Look at me
I love
promoting my
that.
shit.
I'm proud of you.
God,
Great work.
dude, I know. Fuck.
You're the goatest.
Oh my God. I mean, yes, keep it coming. But see here, let's pull this up. Hope everybody's doing well, by the way. I fucking love all of you,
I'm
especially
doing
you, Foster.
great.
I know you're kind of going through with what wrestling might be doing, and I just want you to know that I fucking love you and you're beautiful, my man.
Oh,
I'm so glad that we
I
can
love
bond
how
over Taylor
true you're
together.
speaking right now.
Dude, I know.
Alex
Um,
is fantastic. Alex, you're wonderful.
it's so true. Okay. Oh God, Chelsea Green taking out the trash and saying the dump is
Yes.
Mishan's house. Of it online.
Huh?
Okay, there we go. The segment, the sanitation thing that she did. All right, here
Gotcha.
we go. Oh my God, she's posing. Oh my God. Oh wow. They threw the trash at her. She's so indignant about it. Yes, I do think it's very unfair, Chelsea, yes. Look at her training on the fucking wood pallet. She's fucking great, man. Was that a, like, blow up thing that looked like Shinsuke Nakamura? That looked like Shinsuke almost.
No.
She's she's smacking the thing. Oh god, now she's, like, slamming it down. Oh, okay, now I see what it is. Me oh my god, this is great. Coming to get you. Oh, man. Okay, we only got 18 seconds left, guys. Oh gosh, the raccoon was in the dumpster. Oh, you're gonna pay for this, Chelsea says. But you staged the segment. What? Oh, man. Dude, can I just say, I am so happy that 2 of and I say this in terms of momentum so that I'm not misconstrued because I know there are a lot of, misogynist wrestling fans on the fucking internet. 2
Yeah.
of the hottest mid-carders, like, in the division are, like, having this angle together because Chelsea's been knocking it out of the park and Meechin's really been doing great work lately. So the
Mhm.
idea that they get to collide like this, like,
Yep.
I am so happy for them both.
Yes.
Um, God, like, I don't wanna jump the gun because, again, I did see a Q&A question, and it's got me thinking, but I don't wanna go into that. I don't wanna spoil their fun. They asked that question for that time, so we'll save it. But, yeah, I just want the best for both Meechin and Chelsea. Um, and really, I can't like, I do think I'm a bigger Chelsea fan, but that's not even meant to be a diss to Meechin because she's such a fucking sweetheart, and she's so good at this. She is and especially, like,
Absolutely, yeah.
I used to think her mic work was a weak part of her game, but I think her just being probably herself, but with the volume turned up. Like, I think about the promo she cut on Jada before their street fight. She she's good. She's got that intensity. But Chelsea, man, like, I think Chelsea's more endearing to me because you know how hard it is for a comedy wrestler to break through to me. And, like, for Chelsea to do it, it's like, man, fucking love her. So I'm really excited for that. You really can't go wrong with either of these women. They're both fantastic. They're both wonderful. They're both a credit to the fucking business. That's for damn fucking sure. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what's next for them. I think that's essentially SmackDown. So yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say that's SmackDown, which leaves us with Raw. What are they doing with the fucking New Day? Mind you. That's how I wanna open this fucking tag match where everybody got pissed at the official.
Oh, why are we
What is going
opening with this? What?
Did
Why?
you prefer to talk about something else? We could save this if you wanted. If you wanted to talk about something else.
It's just like the thing that I'm the most like off base about. I don't know what they're doing with the New Day, man. I'm worried about it. They had like the backstage thing where they talked about their feelings at least.
I mean, was it really a conversation though? Because it was like Xavier yelling at Kofi, or was that a different segment that
No,
you
that
were
but
thinking of?
that like it was like Xavier expressing his feelings to Kofi, and Kofi seemed like I don't know, maybe like he understood. I don't know.
He seemed a bit stun locked, but maybe it was because he was absorbing. Like, all right, Woods.
Exactly, exactly. That's important in my opinion.
It is. You're important in my opinion. You
Oh,
your face seems distressed, so I wanted you to know that.
yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it.
but man, I don't even fucking know. Cause like, look, okay, I'm not even gonna give my turned up opinion because you know my turned up opinion is cackle at friendships ending because I'm Jesus Christ. But here is my real opinion. I do think Xavier has a lot of upside as a singles competitor. I don't understand why we have to see that upside at the expense of the New Day. And I haven't for years because you got to see Big E become WWE champion with the New Day. You got to see Kofi do the same thing. Why is Woods so different? Even if they didn't see a world champion in Woods, which I'll be honest, I even disagree with that now. I used to be on that side, but ever since that one match with Gunther, where he tells Kofi not to throw in the towel, and he's really selling the STF like fucking death, like he is in the most pain he has ever been in. I'm like, yeah, there is a really fiery underdog babyface that could get at least one, very much like a Sami Zayn, at least one world title reign in his career. I see upside in Xavier Woods. I've always liked it. I liked Xavier when he was fucking Consequences Creed in TNA. I've liked him a long
Dude,
time.
speaking of Consequences Creed, he put out a tweet this week that kind of implied that he might be getting some kind of reinforcements from a previous era of his, which kind of led people to believe that maybe he might be getting someone that used to be in TNA to help him out.
Damn. I mean, is Jay Lethal still with AEW? Because I know him and
Yeah,
Crossbone
that
used
was
to
what
be
people were
tagging.
thinking, and I think he might be, but I'm not sure about the contract situation. I'd have to look it up.
Interesting, interesting. But yeah, I just I like Xavier. I like him a lot. I think he has a hell of a lot of upside. I just don't like seemingly where this is going. I don't know. I wanna field the chat here because I know Javaris agreed with me, but Javaris isn't here. Hopefully he's getting some well-deserved rest. But I know we talked in the Discord and I said, bro, for a second I thought that they abandoned this storyline when Odyssey just got dropped because of his stuff.
Yeah.
But they're still going through with it.
Yep.
And I just what like here is let's just put our cards on the table and let's keep it real, right? Because I love to have fun, but I think my fun, like I used up all that on the Cody rant. Now I'm ready to talk seriously because this is a cornerstone of WWE for the last 10 fucking years. Not to mention, look, we are a political podcast. You've even cut in when I've tried to say, like, oh, this is wrestling and we shouldn't talk politics. And you're like, no, no, we're a political podcast first. This faction has meant so much to black wrestling fans who, let's again be brutally honest, have been fed dog shit for a long time. It started to get
Yeah.
years, but like, let's not
Dude,
before that.
oh my god. Speaking of black wrestling fans getting fed dog shit,
Yeah.
um I don't know if this is even really the most appropriate time to talk about this, but we definitely have things to talk about when it comes to AEW because they are literally pushing a Nazi faction right now.
Oh, I saw your tweets. I saw your tweets, and I saw that segment, related to your tweets.
Did you see the replies to my tweets though?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, bro. I haven't checked back in since, so I didn't really think that your tweets even got that much engagement. How many replies did you? Was it like a lot, or was
The
it like two or three?
initial tweet that I put out where I just quoted Moxley saying you're in the exact same spot you were in 5 years ago. Why is that? And then I responded saying because Tony Khan refuses to feature the black talent on his roster. How was this segment ever approved? Tony Khan okaying his talent to go on air and highlight the shortcoming of Tony Khan as a writer slash booker. That tweet has 32 replies.
Holy fucking shit!
And it's all bootlicking.
Okay, I'm not gonna live react. I just want to open up Twitter in a separate tab and read these for myself because I'm more of a visual guy.
Dude,
So
it
I
is.
need
It
to
is.
see it.
I'm telling you right now, it's all bootlicking, and everyone who does the bootlicking will bring up any one of literally the number of people that you can name is countable on one hand. There are like 4 or 5 token names that people listed as far as black talents that Tony Khan has pushed in the 5 years his company has existed that were black talents that he actually gave some kind of push to.
Jesus Christ. By the way, your tweets have been fire lately. I just retweeted and liked your tweets about Cody and Roman because, like,
Thank you.
facts. Um, okay, let's look at this. Oh my God, yeah, I'm seeing it already. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I love that people like because we're not apologists for any wrestling. I could say that we could be big fans of some wrestling, but even when like Stardom was really good before Bushi Road happened, we fucking when they did things when like I don't understand like trying to make everything good. I hate that toxic positivity, toxic fandom bullshit. I hate it. I have no patience for it. So yeah, I've just opened this tweet now. Ah, Jesus Christ. I mean, some I think were trying to be nice about it, but like some people are just like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" But yeah, just to get back on WWE's point before I go back and read more of those tweets, because then I know I'm going to get distracted. And I'm going to go on another side tangent.
We'll get back to that when we actually talk about AEW. We'll have a whole conversation about this
Just
later.
one more thing as a side note, just us saying we will get back to that. I actually did go back again and watch Trevor Lee's PWG promos.
Amazing.
I
I
wanna
love
see
that
him
for
cut
you.
promos like that again. I wanna see it. "Oh, you got all these ugly, stupid tattoos. You probably don't believe in God." That line is gonna pump me every fucking time. But no, okay, so let's reset the
It's the
conversation, right?
delivery. You probably don't believe in God.
Yeah, and then honestly, credit to Brody King because he just shrugs like,
Yeah, pretty much.
riding the fence.
Yeah.
But let's reset the conversation here because I did keep your tweet open in a separate tab. I do want to look at that later, and we'll get more into AEW specifically. So New Day was a cornerstone 10 years. Black wrestling fans have eaten a lot of shit before this. This was like black positivity and friendship and everything good. No cliches, no stereotypes, no anything. They made the gimmick their own. I think they brought even like cultural elements into it, and
Yeah.
they became part of the culture. It was revolutionary. I really don't think it's hyperbolic to say that New Day, relative to the black wrestling experience, was a fucking revolutionary event.
Yeah.
And they continued on that by having like people succeed and the group staying together. Kofi was a fucking world champion. Now look, I love Kofi. Kofi seems like a really cool dude. I'd love to have a meal with that dude and just hear his stories. But as a character, it would have been so believable to have Big E kind of side eyed him and be like, I could take him because he probably could. When Big E became world champion, it would have been so easy for those guys to be like, oh, Big E probably just thinks we're a news and, take him out. But they didn't do it. And now it just seems like because E's gone, which let's be fucking real about that too, because honestly, the implications of that make me uncomfortable too. The dude's only gone because he got a broken fucking neck because somebody, Ridge, right? And I don't want to come down hard
Fucking.
on Ridge, but like
Uh,
he didn't suplex him right. He didn't pop the hips right. The form was fucking off. He broke his fucking, it could have paralyzed him. And Big E, realizing that, was like, I like being able to walk and I like being able to move. And I've always been so confident. Like, dude, he was so confident in his ability and everything. He used to do those spear through the ropes that used to terrify you. It turns out we were wrong. We were afraid of the wrong fucking thing. Um, but he's probably thinking, you know what? It really puts in perspective for me the risk of this industry. And I really felt it for the first time in the worst way. So I'm gonna stay home. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. And he has the fucking right to say it, but you're gonna punish these guys for that. Like, this is a more sincere rant for me because the Cody stuff, like, yeah, I was sincere, but I definitely got carried away. I will admit that. I'm just glad you all enjoyed it. This is me being 100% John, the leftist, the communist, everything. There is something so gross to me about a guy putting his agency first and saying, I don't want to be in a wheelchair when I'm 45. And his friends get punished for it creatively. Because here's the other thing. You can't tell me, and I think Super Blue made this point earlier. If Xavier turns heel, what the fuck is he doing? He's not winning the Intercontinental title. No disrespect to Woods, but it's Braun fucking Breaker right now. No fucking way that happens. The world title, again, you turned heel. Maybe as a babyface, I could buy it because him and Gunther have chemistry. But even so, it's fucking Gunther on top of it. So what's he doing? What is he getting another tag team partner? And then he's going to do the story. See, this person, unlike Kofi, actually listens and respects me. And then they win the tag titles. Boring. Boring. I don't give a shit about that. So what are you going to be? And I'm only saying all this because it really looks like they want to do it. It really looks like they're like, oh, we want to end this friendship. Why? Why? For what purpose? I don't understand it. And like I hate it because I feel like black wrestling fans are getting robbed. And I'm not even saying New Day can never end. Everything ends. And those same wrestling fans, like all of us, are mature enough to understand that, but at least give them the respect and the fucking courtesy of ending something that has probably meant the world to them for over a decade. I would love to see black wrestling fans come out with like a hashtag or videos like what the New Day meant to them because it's probably going to come to an end. What, the 10-year anniversary is coming up in November, and like if you're really going to do it to them, you should at least fucking do it the right way and say, without E, what do we do? Maybe it's just time we just go find ourselves for a little bit and then maybe they come back together down the road, or maybe they don't, and that's fine. And you can even have it be like a main event ending thing or whatever. You should give these guys so much more for what they did for your company for 10 years. This is hella disrespectful. Like, we haven't really talked about it in this way yet. We've just been kind of talking very surface level, like, oh, I don't like it, man, or oh, I don't know, or oh, Xavier, he's gonna get him. But like being real about it and really being that political slash wrestling podcast, this is hella disrespectful. This is beyond gross. You're gonna break up because like a quasi fucking fucking alt right guy in fucking Cross. I don't even really know the words to use because we know like he's on the fringe like that, and he gets in Xavier's ear, and then because Odyssey Jones didn't pan out, which I don't even know what the fuck to think about that situation because that was just weird from the fucking get go. But he didn't pan out, and so it's like, what? We're just gonna have them implode. I hope they can make it through this. I hope they can make it through this, but I really don't think so because I still think about Xavier's promo where he said nobody can end the New Day, but he had those pauses where as if to say mentally, but I can. And so I don't know. But if they really do this to all those wrestling fans that bought into the New Day, that believed in the New Day, everything else, shame on you. They deserve better than that. For 10 fucking years, they deserve better than that. So hopefully they get through it. I'm not confident. Brother, do you have anything to add about this? Because I know you, really, to your credit, you're always looking for like new black talent. You care about black wrestlers getting their own promotion. Like you're more dialed in than even me on this shit. When you look at the New Day and the whole landscape and what the storyline signifies, like, what are your thoughts about it?
I still am just in a place where I hope that they just work it out and things are just fine. That's like,
Yeah.
maybe it's a delusion. Maybe it's like like it's more just me trying to convince myself than anything. But that still is where I'm at. Like it's like the New Day has always been able to work through their problems. We had plenty of instances early on where it looked like maybe they would tease like they were going to break up and that didn't happen. So it's like maybe that's just what we have happen here again. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping.
I'm really hoping to, man. I'm really fucking hoping to. Um,
I mean, really, like the miraculous scenario where Big E does return is the best case scenario, but even with that being extremely unlikely, and I would argue almost impossible, um, I would still really just like for them to hash it out, talk it out, arrive at a mutual understanding with each other and respect, and then win the fucking tag titles.
yeah, because they had him one in that fucking tag match, and then the fucking officiating was so bad.
Dude,
Um,
that was infuriating.
yeah, yeah, it was
And that
for
was this
sure.
week too.
That was this week, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I will say too with Biggie, like I know he can't work and I wouldn't want him to, but I wonder if they could at least do like they used to do with Edge and at least have him in a talking segment because Biggie as a character has to have something to say about this. Like, I can't imagine they just watched him
Yeah,
home.
that's a great point. Even if you can't have Big E on in a wrestling context, this is the kind of storyline where it would make the most sense to have him at least speak his mind about it.
Because he can work
Or
the
even
mic.
just show up
Yeah.
backstage while these two guys are like having it out again in like a heated conversation and have him just show up and help them hash it out and help them mend fences. Like that I don't see how you can't have him show up at all.
No, I agree. I think you need E for this. You need E for this. No matter where it goes, whether they work it out or they don't, he needs to have a say in this. And if you don't even include him for a promo,
Yeah,
again,
because they're
I
talking
say,
about him on TV like he's dead when he's not.
yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm still here. I'm just still shaking my head about your
He's
twin
not even
discourse.
done with the company. He still shows up for pay-per-view pre-show panels and shit.
That is true. Dude, I actually blanked on that. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, yeah, like what the hell are we doing? Like, let's get it. Let's do the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I really I don't know. I worry. I really do. And I just goddamn, man. I just, because again, I understand all things have to end, but it's how it ends that matters. You know, from a narrative standpoint, even though I fucking hate Cody, as we already well established in this goddamn episode, the way Roman's title reign ended within that story, it was great because he chose vengeance over Seth, or he chose vengeance over retaining the title upon Seth, and it cost him. So it was a great character beat for Roman. Like that ended well. Even if you don't like the person that ended it, it ended well, just artistically. If it's just Xavier turning on Kofi, which I don't know, because maybe that he vented his frustration. Now it's on Kofi. And that's another thing I worry about too. Like, is Kofi gonna be like hard headed and be like, like Woods, I don't know why you're acting like this when it's like, I do. Like, I can understand Woods' frustration, and you and I have said that on a few episodes prior too. So I just hope that these guys aren't deliberately out of character just to like force in and just to contrive this whole like dissolving friendship or whatever. We do that trope again. Um, And yeah, I just hope Biggie gets involved somehow, like on the mic, and we get this done, and we resolve this and we get over it. But we will see. But yeah, I just had to say my piece there because I don't like where this is going.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but beyond that, I already talked about Punk's promo. We don't need to talk about that. Pete Dunne, Sheamus, nobody really cares. Pete Dunne wins. That's great. Um, Natalia beat Zoe Stark. I'm telling you, these factions that just have got no heat, like Pure Fusion Collective. What are you doing? I mean, the name, you were DOA on the name. Uh,
yeah. We
Here
knew.
was a high point of the fucking show. Jey Uso and Braun Breaker on the mic.
I missed
Damn.
this. I missed this.
Bro, you missed something good because both Braun and Jay really delivered. Braun, he's been using the line, how many dogs are barking? And I don't know where Raw was hosted this week. Um, and so, yeah, like when he turns full babyface, that's gonna be like his line, I'm sure, going
Yeah,
forward, and I'm sure it'll get hella over. I hope anyway. Um, and they talk about their family history, like his family beating the crap out of Jay's family, and I think Braun more or less said, oh, I love that Braun said he fights for this championship and the championship fights for him, kind of derivative of Daniel Bryan's like, if you fight for your dreams will fight for you. But
yeah,
I love the swagger that Braun had with it, and that Braun said that he's done more as a singles wrestler in 6 months than Jay has done in his whole career. And Braun said that he did it without his father or his uncle. Braun said he didn't need the name because he did it all by himself, and that's true. He's not Braun Steiner; he's Braun Breaker. Um, and yeah, like Braun said he's a dog, and that's what a dog does. And he said he was going to expose Jay next Monday because Jay is nothing without his family, which again is a similar narrative thread because Gunther pretty much said the same thing. Um, I love Jay's retort though because he talks about how he's been here 14 years and winning championships while Braun was in diapers. I mean, in my blog that I'm reading, they say not exactly, but that is what Jay said. Um, and then I love when Jay said that he's going to dog walk his ass. I thought that was great because, Braun builds himself up as this big dog, as like this ferocious kind of animal. And then, Jay Uso's like, I'm gonna dog walk it. I don't know. I just love the way that they like turned it around, flipped it on him. I thought this was a great segment, great energy. Braun tries to get the jump on Jay, but Jay intercepts him with a spear first. And then we know in the main event when Jay tries to come out and help out and kind of do everything, he gets speared by Braun in a sick looking spear. Almost Keith Lee esque that spear when Keith Lee pounced Adam Cole. I got
yeah,
a similar energy there. So yeah, that was great because yeah, it was Dominic Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Was that the main event? Yeah, it was, and it just kind of all broke down, and Jay got speared by Braun. So yeah, that was a great segment, great segment. Um, let's see. After that, oh, I think it was the tag titles. After that, yes, we already talked about that in depth. Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed match was a no contest, and they apparently like fought all over the arena again. Apparently, Pierce said that Raw is war. Like he took like a poll, and the fans just said, "Hey, let them fight. We want to see it." And he was like, "Okay, well, from now on, Raw is war." So I wonder if it's going to be like a big, like expansive brawl all throughout the arena, like throughout the show, or what they're going to do. Maybe it'll be like a Lucha Underground esque concept with these two. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know what the end game is, but I mean, they're doing good TV and it's making Bronson look good. I'm glad that Bronson's back. I know COVID is still very scary, and so I'm glad that he's okay. Um, Sami Zayn is still trying to get his match with Gunther. And it's still the same line. It's like, you know that I've beaten you before. I know that you're scared, blah, blah, blah. Gunther trying to deny it. And Kaiser originally came out. Gunther didn't even like come out first. And Sammy's like, if you're gonna be out here, at least have the guts, to speak for yourself. And yeah, then that kind of devolved into a whole thing. Gunther still denied Sammy's challenge, and it seemed like he was going to be laid out, and Gunther would get the leg up this week. But then, fucking Ludwig was like, "Oh no, 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 I can beat him up more." And he tries to hit his big move on Sammy again. Sammy counters into a blue thunder bomb, and then he hits a haluva kick while Gunther looks on. And he's like, "God damn it!" So they were really building up Sammy while they're building up this rematch quite well. I'm actually liking this better than the WrestleMania build right now because I just feel like the match is going to be fire. And then when Gunther properly beats Sammy, it's like, because somebody even pointed out that at least the start of Gunther's title reign is beating all the people where like there's controversy in his legacy or just people that he hasn't beaten yet. And I like that. I like that very much. So that was cool. Did you see Io versus Bianca? Because I didn't get a chance to
Yeah,
watch
I
the match,
did. It
but I
was
heard really good things.
fantastic.
I thought so. I
I
was
would
hearing it
I
was
would say
fantastic.
is the best televised women's match since Io Lyra.
Nice. Nice. Fucking Io getting it done. And apparently she beat Bianca clean. Was that right? Was there any shenanigans? Because I thought I heard that it was a clean win over
Yeah,
Bianca for Io.
yeah, man. Yeah,
That's huge. That's huge. Yeah. That's great. And yeah,
I think
Kaiser
it was
gets
with
in
like a sneaky
like a
like
cradle, I
flash
think,
pin,
from what I
like
read.
flash
Yeah.
pin. Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
beat her. Like she didn't like incapacitate her. She caught her.
Yeah. Um, And so, yeah, we get Kaiser backstage. He's furious that Sammy would try and question Kaiser's loyalty to Gunther. By the way, let me just ask, quick sidebar to you: do you think that that Kaiser is going to be leaving Gunther soon? Because I know some people were speculating like this might be planting the seeds
I
for
think that
Kaiser to break
Kaiser
away.
will leave Gunther eventually, but I don't think it's going to be like soon. Like I don't think the current teases that they're doing are going to directly lead to it. I think it's going to get stretched out quite a bit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
I think honestly, I think that got kind of shut down on this week's episode because they kind of did this thing where like Gunther like walked up to Kaiser and was like, "You have anything you want to say to me?" And Kaiser was like, "Yeah, I do." And then he attacked Sammy. So like,
Yeah.
I think that kind of put the kibosh on any possibility of Kaiser turning on Gunther anytime soon. Personally,
Yes. Yes, I would agree. All right. I think that's it.
Alex Foster, the poor fan who got chucked. Dude, Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman this week was hilarious. I was in stitches. It was one of the funniest matches I've ever seen.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Did you watch it at all?
No, I didn't see this. I should go back and check this out though.
It was so fucking funny. It was actual comedy gold, and I don't know if they were going for comedy for sure or not, but it was hilarious.
Nice. Nice.
Bronson Reed threw a fan at Braun Strowman.
Jesus.
Like he was backed into the barricade. Strowman was running at him like he was going to spear him through the barricade, and Reed literally just threw a fan at
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
him.
God damn.
Strowman, he plowed Reed through a fucking wall.
Oh my god.
It was so funny, dude. I was cracking up.
And I love that
Uh,
through it all, just Seth Rollins has been taking time off, resting up, and I think when he returns,
selling
it'll be
the
easy.
shit out of those tsunamis.
Yes. Yes. Man, and
Truth
it's great
too.
for
Truth's been out too.
yeah. And it's been great for Bronson Reed because it's like, wow, look at how easily and for how long I took these guys out. God damn. Um, Seth's gonna want his payback though. But yeah, I think that's essentially Raw. So, do you want to go further into the AEW discourse now that we could properly get there? Because I mean, Jesus Christ.
I mean, Jesus Christ is right. Did you see the segment that I was reacting to in my tweets?
Uh, yeah, I watched the video clips that were like embedded in like your quote tweets. Yeah,
Yeah.
were
Okay.
like,
So
yeah,
yeah. Okay. So first instinct might be, well, Private Party attacked them. It was just retaliation. Now they might have taken the retaliation too far, but it was still, a retaliation. But like, no, actually, it was Private Party who were retaliating because the BCC attacked them the week before.
right, exactly.
So it was retaliation from Private Party, and then BCC did what they did in that video, and it's just Jesus fucking Christ, disgusting, absolutely awful, like over the top, like how I don't even know what words to use. Like, how can you possibly be this tone deaf? Because, like, not only is it over the top clear that Moxley has taken direct inspiration from the movie Romper Stomper, which is a movie about a neo-Nazi skinhead gang. And I'm not like exaggerating. That's literally what it's about. It's not implied, it's explicit. It's literally what it's about. Like in the movie, the dude played by Russell Crowe talks about Hitler and how like he made some great points and shit. Like I'm not this isn't like light Nazism, like we're gonna dance around it and play around with the idea. No, they are directly neo Nazis. They don't play with it. It's legitimately neo Nazism in the movie. And Moxley directly quoted that character with, the line a few weeks ago, how he talked to Tony and he was like, this isn't your company anymore or whatever. Like the cadence and delivery of that line, and even the actual wording of that line, were taken directly from the fucking Nazi character in the movie.
Yeah.
And what's crazier about it is that he said it to Tony Schiavone and relied on the commentators to make it make sense to the audience, because apparently the commentators told the audience, like, oh yeah, Tony Schiavone has an earpiece in with a direct line to Tony Khan. So that was actually Moxley talking to Tony Khan.
Yeah.
But like, that's ridiculous. But like, they had to bend that fucking hard to make it work in order for Moxley directly quoting the literal Nazi in the movie to work, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So like, they're not making any kind of bones about the idea that Moxley is literally just copying a Nazi in a movie, right?
Yeah.
So you've got the Nazi gang beating the fuck out of the black tag team, and then taking it to the point that they took a hammer to one of their hands in the process of saying, oh, you guys are in the same place you were 5 years ago. Also, letting the audience know that these guys are AEW originals, that they've been around since literally day one, since the company started, and they haven't gotten any kind of a push from Tony Khan. So, like, yeah, way to expose Tony Khan's internalized racism through the dialogue on his own show. That's great.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm going to give you guys what you really need, an obstacle to overcome. As if black people in America aren't already dealing with enough fucking obstacles, we're going to give them one fucking more. Jesus fucking Christ. Who writes this shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
See, and the problem is like, and here's my potential hot take. I don't even necessarily because it is true to life. We are dealing with a very scary time right now of like far right factions and far right part across the world, not just this country. And fucking what am I trying to think of? Fuck. Like Disney, like Donald Duck and stuff, they used to do like those Nazi cartoons where the Nazis would be like parodied and beaten up, in like that Looney Tunes kind of style almost. I wouldn't mind if wrestling broached that territory of racism, of this kind of extremism against other people. But the thing is, if you're gonna do it, and this is the big fucking caveat to get a sign off, you have to let the person experiencing the extremism, like being on the receiving end of that violence, fucking win. Because people from those communities are watching. You could do an amazing cultural thing where it's like, oh yeah, we don't like these kinds of people, or and even if you don't want to racially code it, that's why dog whistles are a thing, right? But then they still get their fucking asses kicked because racists should always get their asses kicked. People that have these kinds of extreme views should always get their asses kicked. But if you're making a cultural product where those people come out on top, whether it's Triple H against Booker T at WrestleMania 19, fucking Gunther over Priest at SummerSlam this year, or now this, what the fuck are we saying? This is why I don't think leftists are out of pocket when they mention like how certain singers that never used to do country, they like releasing country albums or whatever and stuff like this because the culture is going further right. And I hate it. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What kind of message does this send to black wrestling fans and people like watching these products? By the way, I read all the replies on your tweet. Riveting discourse there. Like, literally, just posting pictures of black wrestlers that have been champions, that just feels like the wrestling equivalent of I have black friends. That's how it
Dude,
comes off to me.
the
Right?
worst thing too is like how many people did that were just flat out wrong. Like, I'm just gonna go through them real quick. So the first picture that I see scrolling is a picture of Athena, Swerve, and Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Athena? Are you fucking kidding me? Athena, probably the best overall talent that AEW has under contract as far as women go, at least one of like the top three, bare minimum. And she has literally been fucking sanctioned off, kept hidden from television cameras for years now, kept hidden away on Ring of Honor. And you're going to call that featuring a black talent? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
And then they would probably retort, but she's had this legendary title reign and this and that, which is true. But
Yeah, you
like,
know who else has had legendary title reigns with ROH titles though? Is like Claudio and Eddie, etc., etc., and all of them also get featured on fucking television. Unlike Athena,
exactly.
Athena has not been on TV since she was like randomly in like an Owen tournament like a couple years ago or something, and she was in it for like 2 matches where she won one and then lost to the eventual winner, and hasn't been on TV since. Like Athena can't get TV time to save her fucking life, and she should be on TV every single goddamn week.
You watch AEW more than I do against your will. Have they ever publicized her title reign, like its success or any
No,
milestones or anything?
they don't
So,
talk
like,
about
what's the point?
they don't, dude. They don't talk about her at all. They don't talk about her ROH title run. If they do, it's extremely rare, and it's to promote an upcoming pay-per-view title defense.
Right, right, right. Damn,
Like,
damn.
and
Yeah.
here's the thing: if they want to do that, put her on the fucking show.
Yes.
Why I don't. That's what I don't understand. Is like you want to sell Honor Club subscriptions, right? You want to have people give you money, right? You want to make more money. You want to make Ring of Honor more profitable, right? So why is it that arguably the best thing about that brand is sanctioned off and hidden away off of your television product where only the most hardcore in the know fans can see her?
Yeah. And that's such a disservice to the work she's been doing too, because whenever,
Yeah.
like, I see a video of hers on Twitter, I watch that shit. She has been killing it.
She does incredible work, and her being allowed to do that incredible work on TV and then having the commentators go, you can see more of Athena if you go to blah blah blah.net or ringofhonor.net or whatever the fuck it is and subscribing to Honor Club for so and so dollars a month, you'd make more fucking money. People would be like, damn, she's amazing. I got to see more of her. It's only that much a month. I'm going to go subscribe to that just for her. People would do
Unironic
that.
Yeah, unironically, I don't know why Honor Club is a subscription service and really ROH as a brand isn't built more around her just because she is having the most legendary title reign probably in the company's entire history, to be honest. Like what she has done as far as content as a character, like it is compelling stuff. And why AEW, it's almost like Tony Khan bought ROH so that he can dump all the toys that he's no longer having fun with on there.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, yeah, it's just like
So
this
there's
whole thing is
Athena.
horribly
The
mismanaged. Yes.
funniest thing too is, and I mean, we've got Swerve on that picture too, who, like, first of all, they struck too late. So like they struck after he had cooled down, and they gave him what felt very much like a fine, I guess you can have it title reign, where it was like, Max was hurt, Adam was hurt. The guys they actually wanted to be champion were all hurt, and they didn't want to keep it on Joe. And Swerve was the hottest thing going, so they were like, "Yeah, fine, whatever. Put it on the black guy, so we can say we did it." And then, yeah, Mercedes, they have to justify their investment, right? Like they paid her so much fucking money because she was the hottest fucking independent free agent. So of course they're gonna, Tony with his fucking shiny new toy syndrome is gonna pay her a bunch of money and then feature her. Sure, fine. You got Mercedes. I'll give you Swerve and Mercedes actually. That's two, right? Again, we're counting because I want to really emphasize how few black talents get pushed on AEW given that they've been around for 5 fucking years now, because it's been over 5 years now, because the company started in, I want to say, May of 2019, because that was when the first Double or Nothing happened, right?
Right.
Their television, I believe, did start in September of 2019, so we can even say 5 years of television. So Swerve and Mercedes, we are not counting Athena because Athena isn't on TV, and she
Right.
hasn't been since like 2021 or some shit like that. The next picture I see is Nyla Rose, not black. She's fucking native. They literally call her the native beast. What are you talking about?
Yes. Yes.
The next face I see, Powerhouse Hobbs, perpetually underutilized.
Didn't the last thing I remember seeing him when I was watching AEW, him getting fucking pinned by Sting? Like,
You might be right. I honestly don't
yeah.
know. All I know is that he's almost never on TV and he almost never gets wins he should get.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
But they post a picture with him holding up the TNT title as if that's supposed to fucking mean something.
Jesus Christ.
The next picture, I will count Jade Cargill because she legitimately did get featured when she was around. But again, even when she was around and she was the TBS champion, a lot of us were complaining that she didn't get enough title defenses. She didn't defend the title very often. So I'll count her, but it's like a tentative. Like, yeah, sure, I'll give that to you.
Right.
The next picture, and by the way, these pictures are all being posted by the same person. The Play That New Keem.
Okay. Okay.
And this person also posted Nyla Rose. So how fucking valid are their thoughts regardless?
Yeah.
Then Scorpio Sky. I'll give you Scorpio Sky because he legitimately was featured very heavily for the first few years of the company's existence. I don't know where he is now.
Yeah. I
I
don't know
couldn't
where he
tell
is
you where
either.
he's been.
Yeah, where has he been?
Exactly. Then they
Damn.
posted Swerve in Our Glory. We already counted Swerve. I'm not double counting him. And Keith Lee absolutely does not count as a black wrestler who's been featured in AEW because the only thing they've ever done with him was that tag team run. And that was like way too fucking brief. They got
Yeah.
nothing. And then they got fucking jobbed up to the Acclaimed, which the Acclaimed is the fifth black act that I am going to count. The Acclaimed, because the Acclaimed legitimately are and have been pushed in AEW pretty consistently for as long as they've been there. I'll give you the Acclaimed too. But that's it. That and you can keep looking, and there are no one else. That's it. That's the entire list. And actually, as far as pictures go, no one even bothered to post a picture of the Acclaimed.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So there's five. There's five. It's Swerve, it's Mercedes, it's Jade, it's Scorpio Sky, and it's the Acclaimed. That's it. Five black acts that have actually been featured heavily in AEW in 5 years of the company's existence. So congratulations, Tony. You're able to feature one black act per year of your company's existence. Wow, that's so fucking admirable.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And
And
meanwhile,
like,
you've got
yeah.
undercard black acts getting assaulted and told that they need more obstacles in their lives by skinhead factions. Boy, that sure does get made up for by the five black acts that have been pushed in your company's 5 year existence. Let me tell you.
Oof. Jesus Christ. Oh, but then the cherry on top, they've got backup in the form of Darby fucking
The
Allen.
white savior! The white fucking savior! Jesus fucking Christ! One
Which
of
like
Tony Khan's favorite chosen whites.
which like let me be clear about something before I finish my thought. The white savior thing, like that's just never okay, period. But also like seriously, Darby Allen. Darby Allen, like I don't
This
necessarily even
tiny
like.
little fucking 5'8" dude is gonna scare off this 3 man plus one scary woman gang who literally just destroyed two competent dudes because he comes out with a skateboard. Jesus Christ, dude, this is so fucking bad. It's embarrassing. If you're a wrestling fan, I can't imagine that you aren't embarrassed watching this shit.
I'm embarrassed. Because I'll tell you, like again, the white savior thing is never okay again. But I don't even like Daniel Garcia, and I feel like he'd be a little bit more believable than fucking Darby just because of his wrestling background. So like the type of wrestling that he does. Like I could picture him getting,
You know who
maybe
I would have
mocked.
loved getting this spot?
Who?
Eddie fucking Kingston.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because
Because
he has the
A,
history marks
you at
anyway.
least have a Latino guy, not white savior bullshit.
Yeah.
B, you have a guy with a history with Moxley who can call him out for this character shift. And B, he actually looks and acts like a believable brawler who could kick some ass, unlike Darby fucking Allen. Jesus Christ.
But Ashton, The skateboard.
Yeah, yeah, no, as if a chair wouldn't have been a far more viable weapon, right?
Oh my god. Oh god. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing?
It's bad, bad.
Bro,
Dude, when I saw this segment, I could not believe my eyes. Like, oh my god.
well, dude, like, and I want to say this respectfully, because maybe of all those 32 comments, you got maybe one or two that, like, while they disagreed, they at least tried to have a semblance of respectability to it. And I don't want to like fucking insult anybody or whatever, but we need to start thinking. And I do say, wait, because even me in some parts, I could probably work on this. We need to think more critically about the media we consume. And like what I saw in those replies, beyond them just being wrong, as you just walked us through it, it's like it just isn't critical engagement with the media. It's very superficial. And it's like, think about optics, think about subtext, right? Think about subtext. What is this saying? What is this media saying underneath? And like, yeah, we need to more critically engage it because this isn't okay, right? And again, I even had, I'll say again, I'll stand by it. I don't even necessarily mind gimmicks like this if you want to push the envelope, but you gotta have like for example, let's move away from racism. Let's go to patriarchy for a second and misogyny. Let's look at Marty the Moth and Lucha Underground. He didn't win fucking in his feuds. He didn't win in terrorizing Melissa Santos. Phoenix, like I think defended her, and then I forget like who defended her before that because I don't think Cage and her were ever like on screen like that. Like I know they were IRL, but I don't know if they were ever on screen in Lucha Underground. I don't remember them being so. But like the point is, Marty gave so much shit to Melissa and everything. Now I feel like in another time and place, either Melissa would turn heel and be like, "Oh, I actually liked it," or maybe he would win and they would do like a Kane and Lita situation, which would be really fucked up. It didn't happen. And that's why I was okay with them doing the Marty Melissa storyline because Marty didn't fucking win. So I'm okay with them doing storylines about things that happen very much in the real world because I don't think the best art ignores reality. I think it confronts reality. So yeah, talk about misogynistic violence, talk about it, talk about these things because doing it through culture that makes a more enlightened next generation, a more progressive next generation, a generation that is more committed to dismantling these structures and these attitudes more than the generation that came before it. But the harm you do when the racists or the misogynists or whatever win, to me, is incalculable. Like, I think culture has so much power, so much. And when you're showing this on a wrestling product and the black wrestler gets his fucking hand broken, and they're probably not going to get a comeuppance because, again, they're not positioned as the comeuppance. The last thing we see is Darby fucking Allen
Yeah.
confronting John Moxley. What the fuck are you doing? Because I don't see Private Party getting away. No, maybe I'm wrong, right? I want to be open to that. I don't want to be closed-minded. Maybe there's a world where they beat Moxley and Claudio in a tag match. But let me ask you all, with how Private Party has been booked and with who Claudio and Mox are in this company, does anybody really see that happening? I don't. I have been given no reason to believe that. And so, yeah, like I just do not like this at all. I can appreciate and I can even commend wrestling promotions. That's why, again, that's one reason why, and I know we haven't talked about it in a minute, but that's one reason why that I personally adore Lucha Underground. I mean, for God's sakes, man, we did a story on Lucha Underground about soldiers that never really left the battlefield, not where it mattered. And like that was one of the most beautiful, fucking violent stories I've ever seen, but it was violence with a purpose. This is just gratuitous and sends the grossest possible message. This isn't art. This is garbage. And I don't know. I don't know. I've always been a guy that sees more in wrestling than most people because I even have people that I respect, like philosophically and stuff, say that like, oh, I don't know why we try and make wrestling more than what it is. It is blue collar. Well, yeah, but don't blue collar people deserve art too? Is kind of my retort, right? Like, why does it have to be a white collar institution? Fuck that shit. And so, like, yeah, I expect better. I demand better. And when you have garbage like this, and then more dishearteningly, when you have people like you call it out, and then you get these uncritical posts of just spamming pictures, where's the media engagement? Where's like unpacking the subtext? What is this saying? Because it's not saying anything good, and we need to be able to confront that and talk about it. So yeah, I'm just glad that I don't watch AEW, bro. I can't stand this fucking company. I can't stand who they prioritize. Darby's probably, and here's the thing too, Darby's probably not even gonna win. I still think Mox is going to beat him for his title shot.
Yep.
So then, what does it say even when the white savior, the stand-in, right? Because the black people, I guess, can't defend themselves. God forbid they have some self-determination, whatever. When your white savior stand-in doesn't even win, what the fuck does that say? Again, it doesn't say anything good to me. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Between this and the New Day, Jesus fucking Christ. I felt like we were finally getting somewhere for black wrestling fans, like Obafemi and Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, and it's like, oh man, we're cooking, and Bianca Belair and all that, and we're still cooking. I think we still have burners working, but let's not slide back now. No, no, no. Not to lift a phrase from fucking Harris Walls, but we're not going back. Let's keep going forward. So, is there anything else from AEW that you want to talk about?
Do you before we move on, I just wanted to throw out one relevant question regarding the BCC KKK.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we think Pac shaves his head?
I'm gonna say no, but if he does, Jesus fuck it. If he does, you tell me immediately because I won't be there to see it.
Yeah.
But if he does, you tell me, and then the first thing you're
I
gonna
don't
see
think
from
that
me
they'll
is
make a big deal out of it.
all
I
over
don't
the
think
place.
that they're going to have like a segment where he shaves his head. I just think he's going to show up and be bald one week.
Jesus Christ. I mean, dude, if he does, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's all I can keep saying because I think something about that question broke me, bro. Honestly, because it's like, could the dog whistle be any louder? Like, is every dog in the tri-state area supposed to hear the whistle? Jesus fuck,
Yeah.
fuck. Um, Anything else from AEW you want to talk about?
Um, that's a really good question, actually. Why don't I pull up a results page and peek at it? Because I think there was a Mariah thing this week, but it was very brief. She basically just kind of, it was her and Serena Deeb versus Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki. And Mariah got herself disqualified by hitting Yuka with the belt.
Right.
So Mariah also continued the beatdown after the match and then left. But then we got a little thing with Mina, like a video package with Mina Shirakawa saying she still misses Mariah May and wants to celebrate, but she said something about how like she feels like Mariah has changed because Mariah hasn't reached out to Mina in a few months and just kind of implies that like maybe Mariah hasn't been a very good friend to Mina, and Mina misses Mariah, but she doesn't feel like Mariah misses her back really necessarily, and that like all of this I want Mina thing might just be for show, kind of implying that Mariah's probably betraying Mina when Mina does show up, and Mina does say in a very double entendre kind of way, Mina is coming.
Yes. AEW really about to sink my ship, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever
Happiness
heard
is
of?
futile, isn't it?
What'd you say?
I said happiness is futile for this company,
Ah,
isn't it?
yeah. Have you ever heard of a wrestler named JD Inc?
No.
Yeah, me neither, but he lost to Hook this week on
Yippee.
Dynamite, by the way, on television, uh, instead of Athena being on television.
Oh, cool. That was definitely a profitable investment for sure.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Um, Osprey teamed with the Don Callis family this week.
Oh, okay.
I know you've been calling that combo, that team up for a while.
Well, really, what I had said was MJF teaming up with him because
Oh,
Don
you
Callis
said
is like in
MJF.
this
My
stuff.
bad.
Yeah. No, no, it's cool though. So, did they get along? Did they coexist?
They won.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Anything else?
You sound so dead inside and so ready to be done talking about this. So,
Because, bro, for a guy that hates himself as much as I do, the one time that I really understand the value of my own life is when we talk about AEW. Because every
Jesus
time I hear
Christ.
about it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hate myself, but I've learned that there, in fact, is a limit, and it's AEW.
Okay, well, Collision, Mariah beat Lady Frost.
Okay.
Darby Allen beat Evil Uno. and
Okay.
Serena Deeb beat Queen Aminata. So
You know what? No disrespect to Serenity Queen Aminata. That's the only thing I'll give like a pass to because those two cook.
yeah,
Um, and
that'll
I'm
be
sure.
where we end our AEW talk, though. We'll be done there.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Did you do
Dude, I
any?
heard instant relief in your voice.
Yeah, because I do it merely as a formality. Every time you're like, no, I'm like, oh, fucking sweet,
It's like
yay.
you're holding your breath throughout the sentence.
Look, if you could write entire companies in a death note, I mean, I'm just saying. Uh, so you know what would make me love AEW though is if they unionized it and nationalized it for the fucking wrestlers. Like, fuck Tony Khan,
Oh,
get his fucking ass out of there.
oh,
Did you do any
oh.
extracurriculars this week?
Did I do any extracurriculars this week? Boy, I'll tell you. Nope.
You fucking scamp. Uh,
I feel like you popped so hard. There was that. Did you blow raspberries there?
no, I didn't blow raspberries there.
Oh,
I mean, I kind of did on the inside, but really, I just kind of got this urge to want to tousle your hair. But
nice.
no, you're
You have
prejudiced.
permission. One time though, only
Oh,
once.
yay! I'm not gonna use it yet though. I'm gonna put it in my back pocket. So
Okay.
this way, when I do it randomly, you'll be like, "What the fuck?" And then I'll be like, "Now, Ashton, on September 22nd, you gave me permission to do it one time, and that's all I did." And you're like, "Wait, what?" And then of course I'll have to explain it to you because memory and all that stuff. And then you're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, fuck, man! I meant in that instant. What are you doing?" Being weird. That's what. Deal with it.
No, no, just being you.
Same thing, baby. All right, yeah. So anyway, I didn't either. So let's get to the other part of the segment. Fucking yeah, Q&A with the audience. So folks, if you have any questions about this week in the world of wrestling, let it rip. God, The Bear is so good. If you haven't watched that show, folks, you fucking should. It's amazing. Huh.
Now that Gable has this patriotic gimmick, do you think he will eventually feud with Dragunov? I love that, actually. Yes, I hope so.
Fuck yeah. Tear down that Berlin Wall again, Gable. You can do it.
Berlin? Dragunov is Russian.
Well, yeah, but the Berlin Wall, Soviet Union versus America, and it's like tear down that
Was
wall
the
and crush
Berlin
them.
Wall in Russia?
Well, yeah, it divided up parts of Europe.
I
Like
thought it
there was
divided up East Germany from West Germany.
it did, but one part was controlled by the Soviets. That's what I'm saying. So like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I understand now.
yeah, see, you're good. You're
But
good.
yeah. But when you say that, I'm thinking that you're just thinking that Ilya is German, but he's not. So that's why I was confused.
No, silly, that's Ludwig.
That is also true.
I'm squeeing a lot, and none of you can hear it. Thanks, Crisp. Um, so let's see here. Next question. Super Blue. Do you think? Wow, Super Blue is phrasing. Do you think Wheeler will fall in line or turn on the BBC in the trios title match at Grand Slam next week? Wheeler is in
Super Blue,
comfortable.
why do you call them the BBC?
Oh God, yeah. That's not accurate.
The most wholesome thing that could possibly stand for is British Broadcasting Corporation.
It's not really that wholesome when you get to that whole history. But
Okay, then the most wholesome thing that could possibly stand for is Big Bang Catastrophe.
oh wow, oh my. Um,
Keith
but
Lee's
yeah,
finisher, you know?
yeah, exactly. No, I think I think Wheeler's gonna be face. I don't see why he'd be heel. So I think he's gonna align with Danielson. What do we think? Do we think that AEW is just gonna muck this up somehow? Probably, right?
Wheeler better fucking not betray Danielson after everything. No.
Oh, you got your like stern voice there.
That little shit, I swear to God.
And it's like, oh, hope you're not on like a no carb diet or anything. Because I'm about to open up a can of Chef Boy. If you don't, fucking
Hell
get this
yeah.
bullshit out of my house. Oh man. Next question. Oh, Cash
Would you
sales again.
say Braun Breaker is more of an American nightmare than Cody?
No, because honestly, I've grown to hate the words American Nightmare just because they're too bound to Cody.
I'd
Braun
say
isn't a
Braun
nerd.
Breaker is more of an American dream than Cody or Dusty.
Oh, You just made me swoon, sir. That is not nice.
Nice. It's so nice.
Okay. Who do you think will next face LA Knight in the US Invitational? I
Mello.
don't know why. I really wanted to be sassy there. I had to stop
It's
myself.
gonna be Mello. He's gonna beat Andrade 2 straight, and then he's gonna go after LA.
Oh, well, it's that simple, huh?
In my opinion, yes.
I don't think he's gonna have any more matches on Andrade. I just think Melo's gonna step up and like be like,
No,
"Hey,
no,
LA."
he is. He's gonna have a sixth match with him. That's already set up.
Oh wow, really?
They
Okay.
already have that set up, so I'm assuming because Andrade's up 3-2, Melo's going to win the sixth match, tie the series, and then they're going to have a seventh match, which I also think Melo's going to win, and then he's going to go after LA Knight and try and win the US title, which is going to make a hell of a lot more sense because then you actually have a heel going after the face champion.
It won't matter.
Dude, did you see the
Um,
segment backstage on SmackDown between Andrade and Melo this week?
no, I did not.
Oh, fuck! It was. I'm going to ping you because I know Kirby posted it.
Oh, pop. Ping me in wrestling discussion.
Yep,
Nice.
there it is.
Oh, Kirby said Ren Sinclair pop. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And then he said she's awesome and he might have been sleeping on her.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay, I need to actually watch this clip for context. Damn. Wow. Couldn't have been me, he says. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in that last bit of offense at the end.
That's what led to the sixth match between them being made for, I believe, for next week. Actually,
This series, I gotta give him credit. It's been amazing. I don't
it's
know if
been
Milo.
really fucking well booked in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know if Milo had to go and do a whole racism telling him to put the fries in the bag, bro. You're washed. But yeah, no, I mean it's good. It's good. So we like you said, you just think Melo wins this one, which
I
makes
think
sense because
Mello
he
wins this one, and because then the series would be tied 3-3, a seventh match gets made. Mello wins that one, and then boom, he gets a U.S. title shot, goes after LA Knight.
do we think though after like because I don't know if he beats LA Knight. Like I'm just assuming LA will probably retain against him in
I
my opinion.
agree.
Do we think that Andrade and Melo just go back at it again and maybe they just have one final like
Part
match?
of me
Maybe like
thinks that maybe we get a triple threat then between all three of them after Mello loses to him, but I don't know.
yeah. Bro, here's the thing, and maybe it's just
Part
because
of me
I'm loving
really
these.
wants for them to start teaming afterwards, like the bar.
Dude, I think there's way too much animosity for that to happen. What I would like, just because I really have probably been loving
But
them in
then
the
they
ring
can
too much.
bond over hating LA Knight. I love
Oh god, my strongest friendships are those I share with people that hate LA Knight. So hard relate. But no, I was gonna say that I probably love these guys in the ring together too much. But like my secret hope, honestly, is that let's say we co-signed everything you're saying, because honestly that resonates, and I'm picking up what you're laying down, right? I would love at least a 30-minute Iron Man match between these two or something, because I know they ain't gonna
that.
get
2 out of 3
60.
falls
Ain't
for the
ain't
seventh
no
match. Oh,
2 out of 3 falls, something, and then like it's the final fucking one. It's the final fucking one. It's like, hey, you know, this is it. And they just go and they blow it out. And to be honest, low key, this might be my feud of the year for our year-end awards, just because
that's
the matches have
honestly
delivered.
reasonable. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
like yeah, I just really feel like it's been great in ring, and Melo's been getting great heat, and Andrade's been showing great babyface fire. This might be the best thing to happen to Andrade in his entire WWE career across both runs, at least since he was NXT champion with Zelina Vega. So good for him. Um, Caster Sales, are you okay with Hangman beating Danielson for the AEW championship? Sure. I really don't see where Hangman goes from here after beating Swerve in that unsanctioned, like lights out kind of matchup. So yeah, have him beat Danielson, and then Swerve gets his next world title reign, maybe at Hangman's expense. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I think Hangman getting the title back, that's understandable. I'd be cool with that. What about you, Ashton? Do you think that's logical for Hangman to be the one to beat Danielson, or do you think there's somebody like better waiting in the wings?
No. I mean, as far as if I would be willing to accept it, yeah, I'm not stoked about it, but down. Now that he is a full heel, it would make sense for him to be the one to beat Danielson. Um, he is sort of like the golden boy of AEW in terms of like Tony Khan didn't have to slap the label of pillar on him in order for him to feel legit. He is a true homegrown AEW talent. He feels like one of the very few homegrown AEW talents that wasn't bigger in New Japan than he is in AEW. Like there's a like Hangman should legitimately just be like, maybe not right now because he's a heel, but at some point he should just be the face of the company. Like he should be that dude for AEW. He should be AEW's Cena. He should be AEW's Roman, however you want to look at it. Because he is that dude for them. So if they want to have him be the one that gets the credit for retiring Danielson, then I wouldn't be super opposed to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up what you're laying down. Also, I'm invested in your face, so you know that's also a plus.
Thank you.
Super Blue. Okay, no, he was correcting himself there. How do you feel about the news of SmackDown going to 3 hours? Super Blue, it's so funny you asked this because I hated this so much. I ranted about this to my sister in the car. Um, we were doing a drive out of town together, and I was catching her up on my life, and I talk about TWitWoW with her a lot, because she always like was wondering, how you guys feeling about the podcast and stuff like that. And I said, well, SmackDown is talking about going 3 hours, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like it took me years to acclimate to Raw being 3 hours, and even when I got a whiff of them going down to two, I was like, oh yes. But now that we're both doing three, like no, no, I think it's awful. Like I think SmackDown's the weakest show right now. I think Cody Rhodes as world champion, what are they going to do to fill 3 hours? How many segments is he going to have to fill that time? Are you fucking kidding me? Do not make me go on another
Psst,
rant when it's almost 1
psst,
a.m.
psst.
Yes, yes.
Segments.
Fuck you. Fuck, fuck it. So, you know,
Yes.
I am sorry. That was so visceral, but you're doing the piss before I like, cause fuck. Just triggers the fuck out of me. Fuck. Oh,
Holy shit! I didn't think I'd get that visceral of a reaction out of you.
you had to have an idea. You had to have an idea that it was on the table. Um, fuck. You broke me so bad, I don't even know where I was going with any of this. No, I just no. No. No, 3-hour SmackDowns can suck my ass. That's essentially my point.
Oh
I
my
guess now we'll
god.
hand it over to the adult in the room for the more sensible take. So what do you think about SmackDown for 3 hours?
I also tweeted about this. I said that, in my opinion, if this is real and that SmackDown and Raw are both going to be 3 hours, I think that we need to have a harder, faster brand split. I think they need to bring back brand exclusive pay per views, and I think that they need to treat both Raw and SmackDown like their own separate entities. And I think that they need to build up both rosters to the point that they can both stand on their own 2 feet and not have to rely on each other or any intermingling to do their own thing. And especially because we've also heard rumors that they want to wind back on house shows. And one really, really great way to do that would be to have two separate rosters where each brand only runs one house show a week on top of TV. So then you have 4 shows running a week, but nobody's working more than 2 shows a week because you have each roster running TV plus one house show every week. And that would be a really good way to lighten the workload on everybody while also being able to still run a pretty decent number of shows overall throughout the year. Because 4 house shows a week, or 4 total shows a week combined between all of your talent, still adds up to over 200 shows a year. That's a lot.
Yes, it was. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Unfortunately, I think the exact opposite is going to happen. And we actually talked about this, me and Foster, and maybe a couple other people got involved, talked about this in the Discord. Historically, when more time gets added, they do the exact opposite, where rather than, okay, we really need to worry about like really emphasizing the entire roster. Let's make sure that we get everyone involved. Let's make sure that people who didn't get TV time before get TV time now, and have a story for everybody so that there is, nothing super repetitive so that nobody gets burned out. Rather than doing that, which is the correct thing to do, they double down on everybody that they've already been featuring. They're like, okay, well, Cody's been getting featured. We're going to feature him even more. We've been featuring Drew and Punk on Raw. We're going to have them show up on SmackDown now. Like they're going to just like intermingle even more, feature people that have already been getting featured even more, and it's just going to get worse. It's just going to suck, and I'm going to hate it, and you're going to hate it, and it's going to be miserable. Thankfully, though, the light at the end of the tunnel is I saw that apparently 3 Hour SmackDown is not meant to be a permanent thing. It's supposed to be the first half of 2025, and that's it. Thank fuck.
Well, wow. I'd rather, we just didn't do it at all, but
I
cool.
agree. But
Cool.
you know what, though? We're getting 2 hour Raws for the last 3 months of 2024. Maybe a worthy trade off.
Maybe. There is no, I wanted to phrase this as a compliment. I feel like it was going to be an insult, though. I was going to say there is no worthy trade-off to your face, which was to say that I would never trade your face for anything. So there you go. Even though you kind of made me black out there with that Cody 5 segments nonsense, I think I'm healed. I honestly, I didn't know how aggro I was gonna be because honestly, I was still kind of like dwelling on it because that's kind of part of my mental illness. Is like when you aggrieve me, I dwell on it until I'm unhinged. And then I was thinking like, oh, we could use a heart brand split from your face, but then I'm like, no, you don't mean it. You don't mean it. You love him, and I do. I love you very much. Just don't hurt me like that again, okay?
I
So,
wasn't trying to hurt you. I was just teasing. I'm sorry.
well, you should have known, but no, dude. In all seriousness, being completely serious, like that is my fear, right? Because I, I do feel like SmackDown is the weakest show again. I know I said that earlier. I just want to reiterate. I do feel like it's the weakest show right now. I feel like they are doing good stuff. I think Mello Andrade might be one of the best things on the show. And I just worry about them like overly relying on talent. Really, if you had to mix brands, I would just like if you devoted an hour to 3 Hour SmackDown to highlighting NXT talent. Like imagine Oba getting on SmackDowns for the first 6 months. And then you just kind of keep him like back on NXT. And it's like, oh, but when are we going to see Oba again? And it's like, oh, well, maybe sooner than you think. I don't know. You could just do creative things with it. But regardless, I turned off my crisp for this because this question was just absurd. Are you going to have a prayer circle for Riley when he faces Ridge next week? No. What are you what are you even saying? Like
If listen, Super Blue, if there's literally anyone on the NXT roster that we don't give a fuck about their well-being against Ridge Holland, it's Riley Osborne.
like at Super Blue, I like you, kid.
I mean,
I
actually,
think
I apologize because the list is longer than that. Lexus King, Sean Spears. There's more names than just Riley Osborne. But like Riley Osborne's been a dick for so long.
yeah, I mean, dude, he literally said in the video package, I knew I was right. While like
He's
he is like
such a
barely keeping it
dick.
together.
He deserves what he's gonna get.
I mean,
Unless
Super Blue.
unless Ridge legitimately injures him like he did Biggie and almost did Johnny Gargano, and I think there might have been one other one in there. He injured himself trying to catch Oni Lorcan that one time. If something like that happens, I take back saying that Riley deserves what he's going to get.
No, you mean
But
it
as long
purely in
as
character,
everything
of course.
stays within the confines of kayfabe, he deserves what he's going to get.
And so look, no, I can't move on from this question until I say this. So I'm not gonna waste turning off Chris for this. Super Blue, you you know me, right? Like you know what I'm about. And so I find it hard to conceive how you found it in yourself to ask that question when literally when it came to Duke Hudson, a guy that I actually like and I think has a lot of upside. After Ridge got done beating the shit out of him, the only words I had to offer him were, and I quote, class dismissed, bitch. And I laughed about it. I still laugh about it to myself. Super Blue, you don't understand what a depraved narcissist I can be sometimes when I'm in the bathroom and I'm thinking about the heel shit that I've done and I cackle to myself in the mirror and I'm thinking, God, I'm so great. And you think that I'm gonna develop remorse for checks notes, Riley fucking Osborne. That's cute.
Just,
You're precious, dude. You're precious. Okay.
oh man.
Rare circle. What the fuck? If Mox beats Brian, how would you feel? Okay, horrible gimmick to be Brian at this time. And it's a shame because I do still like Mox on the whole as a performer and as a mic worker. Um, but yeah, just a horrible gimmick. I'll tell you exactly how I feel, Caster. It would be the same as like, and even worse than I shouldn't even say same. It would be worse than Gunther beating Priest because I really, really liked Gunther, but I hated the optics. I have cooled down on Mox, and I hate the fucking optics of this. So, like, yeah, it would be similar to Priest Gunther, but worse, like considerably. I don't know, man. You're the one that did the fucking takes and you called it out and everything else. I think you have more of a right to answer this question than me. How would you feel if Mox became world champion under this current gimmick? Like, would that change your viewership with AEW at all? Like, I don't know. Just
I would
take us
I
into your
would
mind.
feel first of all, before I answer this question, I need to take this opportunity to let everyone know that it is storming very badly here. And I know we're almost done, but just in case we do get kicked off the air before we finish, it's because something got hit by lightning and I lost power over internet somehow. So just want to get that out there to make sure that everyone knows. But now, it's interesting because it would be horrible, first of all. Let me just preface by saying that. It would be a legitimately horrible decision to have Moxley win AEW's world title. But also, part of me would be like, you know what? Yes, this is perfect. This is exactly what should happen because Tony Khan.
Yeah. How many lines of coke do you think he did to come up with all this?
You know, you got to do a certain amount of coke in order to be willing to let what happened on this week's episode of Dynamite be on TV.
I gotta be honest. I think AEW ruined cocaine for me because, like, you know,
Tony Montana made it cool and Tony Khan ruined it.
because you know, I've told you, I've legitimately, I think I've even said it on the podcast. Like, oh yeah, I don't fuck with hard drugs because you know, to be real with you guys, because we've known each other for long enough, even if it is like a parasocial thing, partly that my parents had drug abuse issues and stuff, so I don't really fuck with the hard stuff a lot of the time. The most I do is shrooms, which are amazing, and I'm 420 friendly, big time. But I always said, like, if the world was ending or if I was dying and I just want to sate my curiosity, like, yeah, I would do coke. Because exactly as Ashton said, like, I know Ashton kind of self popped, but he's right. Tony Montana was who made it cool. I fucking love Tony Montana. I shouldn't, but I do. Um, and yet AEW ruined it for me because I don't want to do coke if coke in turn is going to make me do a racism. Like, no. Let me just do shrooms again and have good vibes with everybody and dismantle capitalism. Maybe I don't know, but yeah,
Maybe your
they
new
ruined it,
apocalypse drug can be LSD.
dude. Dude, yes. I don't want to take this conversation too far afield, but yes, that or what was there are people that think I would be amazing on ecstasy, like just loving. I'd probably be hugging people naked, which
You're
would be really
already
weird.
very loving on weed, so yeah, ecstasy would turn you. Yeah, I bet you just get really horny on
You're
ecstasy.
naked. I don't care. We came into the world naked.
Yeah, I
Fuck,
think I think you'd be really horny on ecstasy, honestly.
dude. Yes. Fuck. Um. So let's see. Okay, that was it for questions. You know what, guys? It is getting close to 1, so I'm gonna make an executive decision here to kinda end this segment
Good
just because
call.
it is getting late and I have things I need to do because I had horrible time management today. So, yeah, let's get to high spots, low shots. Ah, God, you know what? No, I think you earned the right to go with a low shot if our brains are linked, so I'm gonna leave that to you because after our whole conversation today, the low shot seems pretty fucking obvious to me. But my low shot is gonna be oh man, this is harder than I thought it
I
would be.
have I have two low shots, so pick the one that you thought was going to be mine. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I actually have one. I'm gonna say Andrade because he lost his U.S. title match and now he's probably gonna lose another match to Carmelo, and so like he's kind of slipping back down the totem pole. But who is your low shot?
I'm going to give my honorary low shot to Private Party.
I thought that was gonna be your primary one, honestly, and that's why I was saving it. Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
way better actual low shot, I think. So my
Holy
my,
shit,
my
a better.
honorary my
Yeah.
honorary low shot is going to go to Private Party because those guys had a rough fucking week. They tried to get some level of revenge, some level of comeuppance on BCC, and boy did it get turned on them. But my actual low shot is Tony D'Angelo.
Oh,
Yeah, he definitely had a really bad week. Uh, he got kind of called out and maybe even to a degree emasculated by Hammerstone. Then he gave up on his match by Hammerstone, therefore forfeiting the match. And then he admitted he was scared of Obafemi. Like that's a bad fucking week for the Don of a fucking mob, man.
I'm telling you, he thinks he's gonna get made. He got dead. He got dead. Bro, you know what I'm talking about. I've watched these movies. If
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
anything, it's this shit. I'm
You
telling
love
you.
your mob movies, man. I know, believe me.
God, oh god. Now I think when we're done here, my executive function is screaming at me rather than to do my chores. I need to watch Joe Pesci getting shot in the back of the head 10 more times for the tingles. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? Okay, High Spot. You know what? I'm gonna have fun with High Spot. I don't think Foster's here anymore. I love you so much, Foster. My High Spot's gonna be Tara. Because they won.
Nice.
They won their tag match, and friendship
Yes,
is
they
so
did.
back, and nature is healing, and it's great. Everything's great. So who's your High Spot?
First off, my honorary high spot is Julia because she had the highest rated segment again this week, 2 weeks in a row, I believe. She no sold the shit out of CM Punk, which was just the highlight of NXT to me, I think. And she's clearly in Roxanne's head. It's so obvious. Roxanne tried to jump her and Punk had to stop her. It was amazing.
Rent free.
Yup. And I think my actual high spot has to go to Roman Reigns because man, the aura in that segment and just the stark contrast between him and his personality and his charisma and like I said, his aura compared to Cody's in that segment. It's incredible how clear the difference was in that segment between who was actually there because they were there like because they could do their job and who was there because they politicked their way there.
You're so fucking right. And also, Roman Reigns is so much better than everyone else. Fuck you, Cody. Um, I give my high spot as Tara. All right, well that's that. What a fun, laugh-filled episode with some existential dread and some political poignancy. Episode of Week in Review. Thank you all so much for joining us. Please leave a like as you file out, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And because we did Marigold today, when do you think we'll even be back, Ashton? Uh, Wednesday, maybe Thursday for Stardom recap potentially.
Monday.
Oh, what do we got going on Monday? Mario Gold, I'm guessing.
There was a Monty Gold show that just happened actually. Let me actually check and make sure that it's not already up. Okay, it's not. So I am guessing that Monty Gold show will be up. Actually, maybe not Monday. Maybe Monday's a little bit too early. I'm guessing one of Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I really don't know. But there's a Monty Gold show. Um, the 21st. There was a 21st show, and then there's a 23rd show. We're going to be reacting to both of those this week.
I see. All
Now,
right. Well,
when
we
they
got one
go
more.
up, it's going to be a wild card. I don't know, but whenever they do go up, obviously we're going to want to react to them.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will for
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Then there's that. I guess we'll let you guys know when Monty Gold is coming. In the meantime, though, I guess just have a great rest of your week, guys. Thank you again for joining us. Be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.